And we are live. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you guys so much for joining
Amazing.
me. I am so very happy to run this game. I've run this several times. A lot of people that know me know I run this almost as much as Seth's game. But this is coming full circle. It is my favorite trilogy of terror that was ever run under a custom system. My thinking. It was originally published under the Pagan Publishing people, the same great people that created Delta Green and all that good stuff. I think, well, with the exception of like some new games, but from like Stygian Fox and like Zugrozny and others, um, back then in the time when this first came out, 20 years ago, so this was about as dark as it got. And it was really good. So I'm very excited to take you on this first ride tonight, chapter one of a three chapter series of coming full circle. You all will be playing investigators, uh, revisiting the same small, quaint New England town over 10 years. Your characters will age, things will happen, and you'll go forward as strange events keep happening in this small town that you have to revisit. Um, why you have to revisit? Well, because of the job that you all are part of an occult group called the Meriwether Society. It's headed by a Marion Wells, who runs this little theosophical sort of occult group in Boston. There are several in Boston in the time. This is 1929, April 1929. So yeah, there are several in Boston in this area, and you are like one of the newer forming groups. You guys have been active for about a year. Not all of you have joined at the same time, but you all have been working with each other for a bit. And what happens is basically you guys might live in Boston, you might live somewhere else, but once a month, uh, Mary Wells goes through her mail and decides what uh, inquiry best suits the group and that might work for them, and puts out the call. That calls you all to gather at her quaint little brownstone in the Beacon Hill district in Boston, and a nice, beautiful little townhouse kind of a deal. And you all gather there. She reads the letters and stuff that has gone forward, and you guys assign a course of action. So you guys are, as well as an occult group, you're kind of like Ghostbusters or Mythbusters or something like that. You definitely go out and investigate things for other people, inquiries for other people. When the people can't get answers through any other means, they seek you out. Most, I want to say 98% of the times that you guys go out to these sort of events, it's leaky pipes or bad shingles on the roof or something like that. So easily quickly debunked. But every now and then, something happens to convince you guys, and some of your all's backstory as well, which we'll get to in a minute. Also lets you all know, there is something out there that's worth investigating. All of you have very colorful backgrounds, so let's get started. Let's go clockwise. We'll start with Lauren. You don't mind letting us know about your character and what she's about? You're still muted. Is it your headset? She's scrambling. Still muted.
This is a thing.
There we go.
There we go. I am
Yeah.
so sorry.
You're fine.
You're
fine.
Must have sat on the button.
It happens.
No, not to do that now.
Okay.
So I am playing Elizabeth Barnes, who is the newest member of this branch of the Meriwether Society. And I've written down in my notes everybody's role. For mine, I just wrote, she's an eccentric. Okay. So
Fair.
She's a budding antiques dealer, antiquarian, also like, what are your hobbies? Miniature spoon collecting, parapsychology, taxidermy, normal stuff, okay? So she's born and raised in Salem, Massachusetts. One of her ancestors may or may not have been, tried and found guilty of witchcraft. Were they truly guilty, or were they just weird? The world will never know. Elizabeth herself is very just an odd duck, and she is eager to prove herself amongst the group. As a young woman, she really wanted to hear voices and hear knocking in her creaky old New England house. Didn't find anything. Sadly, her house was not haunted. So she went and found other people whose houses were and started, talking to them, hanging out with them, recording their stories. And here we are today.
Excellent. Very well done. All right. So yeah, great start. All right. So we continue on our clockwise group. Okay, if Sarah, played by Melinda, would like to keep going.
Howdy, I would. Hello, good evening. It's great to be back with everyone. I know normally with Cthulhu, we haven't played in like a month, so it's nice to see everyone again. But I'm playing Sarah Tyler. Sarah is what I will, because Elizabeth is the eccentric of the group. Sarah's the researcher. She's a librarian. She works for the Boston Public Library in the Special Collections Department. And she comes from an occult background. Her parents are paranormal investigators. They're very well known in the Boston area, which is where Sarah's from. So she grew up around it. So she's a believer, but she also knows that you have to do your due diligence and actually research, and you have to investigate. So she doesn't just hear like a knock in a house and goes, ghost. She goes through and she's like, okay, let's figure out what this actually is. And
it's going to be perfect for this game. Perfect for this game.
It's going to be great.
Excellent.
Excited.
It's going to be a fun ride. All right. Joel was playing Raymond Duke Driscoll.
Yeah. Great to be here, by the way. But so Duke Driscoll is your standard, stereotypical LA private eye, private dick. And Gumshoe, right. So he's got the investigative skills. He's your investigator. He's also the man that can take care of himself with a gun, some brass knuckles, maybe knife, that sort of stuff. He's sort of a, can-do kind of guy. Born and raised in Holgram, Illinois, actually left and found his way out to LA, not to become a private detective, but to chase his teenage love who disappeared. And that led him to become a private detective. She went out to become a movie star and instead has periodically gotten herself into many, many bad situations that he periodically finds her and helps her through, and has made a career of this in the process. In her latest stint, she took off with somebody to the Boston area, which brings him from LA to Boston. And he had run into an instance of the paranormal out in LA, which caused him to join a society out there, which then eventually led him to join the society, the Meriwether Society in Boston. And that's how we get Duke Driscoll here.
Excellent. So I was thinking you ran out to LA to get, that steamy jazz kind of background sound for you to get that developed. Excellent. All right. So last and certainly the least, certainly not the least, we have Raz, Father Ian, playing Father Ian McFinley, if you want to keep going.
Right. So this is the tale about the man myself. I was born in Nashua, New Hampshire. I have achieved, though, being sent after the seminary into the Boston area and very heavy Irish community, that I've picked up some of the dialect. So I have a bit of a Americana Irish sound. But the real thing about McFinley is that he's had a darkness that's been following him since he was a wee boy. His mother had several boyfriends, and one of them, when he needed money for gambling debts many years back, grabbed his 5-year-old sister and was going to sell her to people who needed a child. And Ian found that a pistol does that kind of work very well. And he shot the fucker. So that's his start. He doesn't like children being abused. He doesn't like to see anyone hurt. So when he found out years later in the area that one of the higher ranking members of the clergy had been diddling the children as well, he went ahead and performed an excommunication on them. And all kinds of nonsense came after that. But they're afraid to actually officially defrock him because he knows too much and they haven't had a chance to wake him yet. So he goes around still saying he's a full-blown priest, gets in and out of places, but he doesn't have an actual parish. So there's a lot more to find out about McFinney, but you'll hear it along the way as he's sipping a little bit of hooch and talking to Duke.
Definitely the wild card of the game already. I can see this happening. Nice.
I'll kill you.
Excellent. I'll kill you. Oh my God. Here we go already.
The gumshoe's the rational one.
Yeah, calm down. Can we not shoot anybody today? Would that be great? How about that? How about we not shoot? He just asked for a tip. I mean, geez. All right. Okay, so it is April 13th, 1929, which is a Saturday, and you all have just arrived. It is about Saturday morning, I want to say about 10-ish. You are gathering at the house, Marion Wells House, which is the headquarters of the Meriwether Society. She is our place to call out yesterday to all of you. Said that she just received a letter that sounds perfect for what needs to be done, and wanted to make sure that you all got together on Saturday to discuss the case. It does seem fairly urgent, and made sure that if you guys needed a train fare or anything like that it was done. She has deep pockets, so don't worry about funds or anything like that. Her dad is involved in shipping and stuff like that, so he's well set up. So yeah, you all arrive at this beautiful brownstone type townhouse, 3-story, many rooms all throughout. Done in that very new ritzy kind of style of the 20s, the jazzy age and stuff like that. Very geometric kind of shapes and stuff throughout the place. So it definitely has the bones of a much older house. So like this house is probably a good 80 years old, almost turning the previous century year old, but has been redone in a taste that she likes. So yeah, you see a lot of newer statues, some cubist art, stuff like that, all that stuff kind of going on. So yeah, she brings you all into one main room, which is like your all's meeting room, seance room, what have you. It's a big, long, like almost like dining table, kind of set up with like a purple velvet runner type cloth set above it. Big, tall, high back chairs with leather backings and stuff like that. It's very, very comfortable, very plush. Probably got it's 20, so it's probably got that good 3-inch shag carpet on the floor, where it's not hardwood.
I thought I heard Duke mention that once. A
A
3-inch shag.
3-inch shag, exactly. God, here we go. But she's like, yes, I received a letter yesterday in the post, and wanted to share it all with you. This does seem extremely urgent, and want to make sure that I share it with you all here, and I can share it here on the screen. And for those of you who aren't familiar with StreamYard, if you kind of hover over to like the bottom right corner of your screen, you should see a window that allow you to blow it up if I'm showing anything that you have a hard time seeing, because this is from an old book that is done over in a really bad scan. So there may be some issues with reading. If you have any issues, let me know. I know this game backwards and forwards. Be glad to read anything out for you. But yeah, so I will share the screen that I've got, or at least I hope I will.
How have you been, Duke?
There we go.
I was going to fill the negative space, the negative sound there.
Excellent.
There we go.
So yeah, so we've all gathered together, and anyone want to volunteer to read that off if they have a hard time reading it? I'll read it off.
Duke.
Not Sarah. She's blind as a bat.
So not Sarah. Okay.
Duke's got a beautiful reading voice.
I'll read it if you want. That's fine.
Sounds good, Duke. Thank you.
All right. Tuesday, April 9th, 1929. Right away.
Oh my God, it's from the future.
Yeah, it's from the future. To whom it may concern. I'm a widow living in North Ashfield, Massachusetts, with my daughter, granddaughter, and a nephew, and I recently learned of your expertise in the paranormal. I'm in need of you in your services, and for it seems my house is plagued by some sort of ghost or spirit. Our problems became a few weeks ago, and I'm not sure of the next time, but our children were the first to notice anything since then. All of us have witnessed more than one strange occurrence. Under normal circumstances, I would not have taken this step to contact you, but the church seems to be unable to help.
Likely story.
And I know of no one else to turn to. The first strange things were noticed by the children. It involved the movement of objects by invisible hands and loud knocking and banging on the walls and floors. Footsteps have been heard wandering through the house, even though all were in bed. Spoons and other implements have been bent beyond use, and I don't believe either of the children are responsible. Most recently, the bed in my granddaughter's room has been moved at night, with her in it. Worse, a terrible shriek has plagued the house twice. It sounds like a man in terrible pain or anguish, but I have not been able to pinpoint the source. Things only seem to be getting worse, and I fear for the children. I'm willing to pay for your services. I will reimburse you for the train tickets, to Greenfield, a town close to North Ashfield. I will also pay you $10 per day to compensate you for your time and trouble. If you need to bring colleagues along, I can pay each of them $5 per day. Please give this serious consideration. I'm not a crackpot, nor do I wish to waste your time with something a reasonable person would consider frivolous. This demon or ghost is genuinely frightening us, and we want to rid our home of it. If you are interested in investigating this, please contact me at the address and telephone number below. I'm trusting in your complete discretion in this matter. Respectfully yours, Amelia A. Apcott, 450 Birch Lane, North Ashfield, Massachusetts. Telephone KL5-6120.
Excellent. Very well done. Thank you. Thank you, Joel. All right. So yeah, that's what we are looking at. She said that's definitely the most interesting letter we come across so far this month. There was a few others that I'm pretty sure aren't really anything to come forward. This lady definitely has heard of us, definitely requires our assistance, and it seems fairly urgent. I would entreat the four of you to make haste to contact Amelia and see about what it would be involved in investigating this issue.
Well, of course, we wouldn't want to leave this poor woman and those children in any type of peril. So
and the spoons.
Well, of course, the spoons.
Innocent spoons being bent out of contortion.
The horror.
Yes. Cutlery bent.
God, what about the knives? What about the forks?
Exactly.
He wasn't sure about the cutlery.
They're next.
He just knew he had to
go.
help.
Soon they will not be able to eat anything at all.
Oh my Lord.
Already they cannot consume soup.
Who were these strange women, and why did they keep talking about cutlery? Duke wanted to know, but he wasn't going to get his answers now, or maybe even ever.
So is there a train that runs from this from the town of the Meriwether Society out to this Greenfield? Would there be, or do we have to make our way to a major city?
So yeah, there's a couple different ways to get there. One's more pleasant than the other. The other causes, but one causes problems.
Traveling by donkey cart typically.
Exactly. So you all are in Boston, and this is in Greenfield, Massachusetts, which is more centrally located in Massachusetts. Definitely away from the coast. It is a much smaller town, almost like a tiny little township in Greenfield. Greenfield is like the county seat, where like the train stops at. There is a train that stops in Greenfield, which is I want to say about 6-7 miles away, which in 20s is a good stretch of the legs. It's not uncommon for you to hoof it a little bit, or maybe in Greenfield you could ask for someone in Greenfield to give you a lift into North Ashfield, which is again only about 6-7 miles away. There is an option B, which means going across many country roads and stuff to get there. The train takes you about an hour and a half. You're in Greenfield, boom, and then from there you got to get to North Ashfield. You can definitely drive, but it's going to be over like some country roads. Probably take you the better part of 4 to 5 hours to get there. 5 hours, and that's if you're lucky, if the bridges aren't washed out or anything like that. These are
right.
this is way before the highway system. And once you get out of
way
town,
before
it's
good tires too.
way before good tires. Yeah, we're 1920s cars, probably not. The leaf springs at best, no shocks. So yeah, you can drive there. It's going to take you about 5 hours. But you'll have your vehicle, a vehicle there. Like Marianne could lend you her one of her vehicles to make the trip out there, and it'll be like a Studebaker or something that seats 12. Because that's the
Comfortably.
exactly.
A giant boat of a machine.
Exactly.
Lovely.
That would give us time to talk, time to learn about each other, to make it there, to be friends when we arrive, possibly acquaintances, maybe
Well,
more.
I don't know about any of you, but I'm a shitty driver. So I will be the passenger princess on this one.
Passenger princess.
I would prefer to take the train because it's more direct. It's right there. And we can hire someone to take us to the house once we get to Greenfield. But I will go with whatever the group wants to do.
I'm not the best driver, but I could take a stab at it. I mean,
Beg you not to.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
It's already there.
I have a 25% chance of doing well.
You have a 75% chance of not.
Elizabeth, I need to remind you of the farmer's market incident that we had a few weeks back.
You're still paying damages on that.
That farmer will never recoup those expenses that he lost that day when you crashed into his farm stand.
Poor
his
little
legs.
girl stumping around on the one
Listen,
foot.
I invested in a mechanized electric wheelbarrow. And it didn't turn out well, okay? How was I supposed to know?
I'm a fair driver, but not excellent. As long as it's not storms or we're being chased, I think I can handle the vehicle. But if everyone prefers a train, that's fine as well.
Duke can drive, but he prefers a cab. A train would work if that's what you want to go with.
I'm getting a bit
Wonderful.
worried about
I'm
Duke
hearing
talking about
votes for
himself in the third.
train.
I'm hearing half
Train.
train, half car. Yeah, but more maybe train.
The train is perfectly fine. We could get snacks. I'll bring a
You can.
picnic basket.
Yeah, this is a train in the
That
20s.
you
yeah.
can.
They'll have drinks.
He
That
brings-
works.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go. They might have a club car. There's probably a club car. Yeah.
Duke can drive the train. All
A
right.
man
Yeah.
of skill, many
so-
talents.
The first big mistake we're having is that we don't have a point of egress or a vehicle out. So that's good. Let's take the train. Grand plan.
Nice. Grand plan.
The Apcots probably have a car that we could borrow if things go awry.
They definitely seem to
why-
have means. They're willing to pay you per
Yeah.
day already.
There you go.
Would it be, absurd to give the woman a call and have her arrange for a vehicle to meet us at the station and pick us up and bring us to their abode?
She seems
Also,
desperate enough for the help, so she might
We
agree
should
to that.
probably let her know we're arriving because in my experience, when you show up at someone's doorstep unannounced, randomly, at the bottom of a country lane, they sometimes chase you off with pitchforks.
That's true, but sometimes you get the drop on them.
Are we
This
looking
is
to
a
get the drop on
woman-
this woman?
Yeah,
Well-
Duke, are we looking to get the drop on this woman?
One never knows. I come prepared.
Good lord.
All right. So let's make a phone call. Who would be the most... Sarah, would you mind making that phone call then, please? And then we can go down to the train station and get ourselves some tickets.
Not at all. Fetch me the number.
I believe it's KL56120, the way...
Klondike
Duke's-
56120. Exactly.
I see it. There we go.
Have
As-
a
as Duke-
20s prefix. Yeah.
As Duke read out when he read the entire fucking letter. The
Oh my
entire
God. Well, we
fucking
needed
letter.
to know. We needed to know.
We needed all of the information.
It was a 20-pound bond paper. Felt good in the hands.
Oh my god.
All right, let's call this woman.
Who's calling?
Oh, Sarah. She's our mouthpiece.
Sarah.
Again, this like Saturday. Probably by the time you guys had brunch and stuff like that, it's probably close to.
There was brunch.
noonish.
Amazing.
Yeah, you had brunch, little croissants and some ham. Yeah,
Amazing.
exactly. So Sarah's going to talk.
I
Mhm.
will.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So you ringing through, and the operator in Boston rings you through to the operator in Franklin County. The operator in Franklin County in Greenfield rings you through to the tiny little operator there into North Ashfield. And so you're spending about a good 15 minutes getting connected through the different operators. And then finally it rings through. You get like ring, 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 ring. And then, about the third ring, it picks up and you're hearing, hello, Epcot residents. Allison speaking.
Hi, I'm looking for a Mrs. Amelia Apcott.
Oh, my mother. Oh, yes, yes. Can I ask what this is regarding?
Yes, this is Sarah Tyler with the Meriwether Society. We're answering your
Oh.
mother's letter.
Oh, the letter she sent earlier this week. Oh, yes. Yes. Give me just a few minutes. I'll go get her. We were getting the dinner prepared for today. I'll be right back. And you hear like the receiver being just laid on the table, clunk, kind of a deal, and some steps going away. Obviously, like a hardwood floor. You hear like the hard steps going away, and can't really hear the conversation. Make me a listen roll while you're listening in.
Ooh, the first roll.
The first roll
Of
is
the
a listen
game.
roll. Exactly.
Let me get my character sheet up. One moment, please.
Good
All
luck,
right.
Mel.
Thank you. I'm going to need it. All right, here we go. My listen's a 45.
All right.
And we rolled a 27.
Excellent.
Which is a regular success.
Lauren is cheerleading for you. Excellent. So you're hearing something in the background, and it's not uncommon, for there to be a lot of static and stuff going on, but like it sounds like somebody's speaking, but you can't quite make it's just a bare whisper. It's like and you're like, is somebody else talking? Is somebody else in the line?
So it doesn't sound like the young girl that just picked
Not
up
at all.
the phone.
Sounds more like a man's voice kind of breaking in and out.
Cool. All right, I will.
Yeah, it's a little
file that
odd.
away.
Yeah, and you're just like, is somebody else, and then you're hearing like the receiver getting picked up, and you're like, this is Amelia. Yes. How can I help you?
Hi, Mrs. Apcott. This is Sarah Tyler with the Meriwether Society. How are you doing today?
Oh, wonderful to hear from you. Thank you so much. I'm doing lovely today. Thank you very much. I'm so glad you responded to our letter. Thank you.
Yes, of course. My team and I we're answering your letter, and we're willing to come and check out the house for you and make sure it's safe for you and your family. We're hoping to head out as soon as possible. I was just calling to wonder if we could arrange transportation from Greenfield to your home.
Oh, of course. So you were going to take the train? That would definitely be a good plan. Some of the roads here are horrible.
So I've heard.
Yes. These all country roads. I'm sure I could ask Davey down at the market to take our car to meet you. That would work. Little Davey Hobson. He's a young boy, blonde haired. He'll be in our Model A tour.
Wonderful. And where should we meet him at you said he works at the market?
He works at the market here in North Asheville, but he'll be waiting for you at the train. When could we expect you? And remember, this is like a Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm. When we would have probably discussed this before. When would be an appropriate time for us to head out? Are you thinking maybe first thing Monday?
Yeah, many things back then did not happen on Sundays. Many things were closed. Most things were closed.
Yeah.
So Monday would probably be the best.
There might be one train going through on Sunday.
Yeah. All services are limited. Yeah.
I will need time to pack the essentials.
Of course you would.
At least 12 hours.
Are you taking spoons, ma'am?
Yes, I need to replenish theirs.
God, no, she would not take those spoons there. They're going to get bent.
It's a gift
I've
for the
met
app
bent
pots.
things
I'm
before.
bringing new spoons.
You shouldn't be talking like that to a friend. Get bent. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
I say.
Well, then I turn away from where the team is because I just shouted over my shoulder, and I go, Mrs. Apcott, we're going to head out on the first train available Monday morning so we can get to you as soon as possible.
Oh, lovely. Yes, I believe the first train arrives in Greenfield around 8:35. That would probably work. Yes. So that means it's going to be you're going to be leaving out of Boston about 7, probably about 6:55, 7 a.m.
Unless anybody wants to leave later, I figured we just get out there and start investigating.
Should be fine.
All right.
I have a normal Sunday night planned.
Well, thank God
Sweet
for
Christ.
that.
Duke will be there. He won't be awake. He'll drink heavily and he'll make it through.
We'll just roll him onto the train.
I love this narration.
It's great. It's great.
It's class.
Then I'll finish up the phone call and just assure her that we will be there. The train will get in at 8:30 to expect us on the platform, and we'll be to her Monday morning.
Okay. And so you're making your, yeah, exactly like that. You're talking about that, reconfirming everything and stuff like that. And she's, saying, well, very well, and we look forward to it. And you're like the static gets really bad on the phone, and you hear like a man's voice, the same man's voice again, on loud, but it's loud.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Apcott. Is your husband?
Get your hands. And then the phone just stops.
Oh,
Clicks.
good.
Sanity check, please.
All right, y'all. Do we think that the streak is good Lord? Do we think that the streak is going to continue?
Should I do my dance again?
That's a 35. My sanity is a 60. We're fine.
Fine. You don't lose anything, but you're like looking at the receiver like
I'm looking at it like, Jesus Christ.
Hey, watch your fucking mouth.
I'm sorry, Father. I meant no disrespect. Jesus.
It's fucking Sunday. What's wrong with you?
It's Saturday, you old coot. I swear to God.
Not for the Jews. Now listen here.
The books threw me off. The dame's got pep. She's got a little fight in her. He likes it.
What happened with the phone? I saw you hanging it from your face like that.
Well, I will have you know that
Wow.
there was a
Wow.
there was,
Watch your fucking mouth.
I have to collect myself.
Pull it together. Come on, we're professionals.
So happy I asked for the honor of running this game.
More like a mall than a dame.
This is
A lot of big personalities.
this is you're in
Watch
for
your
a
fucking
wild,
mouth, Bobby.
You're in for a wild ride. Anyway, so Sarah hangs up the phone. She kind of just looks at it for a second and just thinks that was a little weird. That was odd. And she turns to Father McFinley and she goes, I don't know if signals were getting crossed or what, or if she has a very angry husband living with her, but there was a man's voice shouting on the phone, and I heard a whisper before. I don't know. It's something that we should probably file away. I'm going to write it down in my book.
What
And
did
I'm
it
going to-
sound like?
Angry and mad.
Well, in the letter, it does mention that a man was screaming twice in the house,
Mm.
and she doesn't mention the man about, except for her nephew. So I'm thinking that we may have a bigger problem here, Miss Barnes, than what the note might have originally led on.
Oh.
And I'm thinking that whatever is in that house most definitely does not want us there. So we should be extra vigilant when we're visiting.
Marion's enthralled, and she's like talking to you all, and she's like, this does sound like an amazing case. I really, really wish I could go with you. Fortunately, I have to do some business for my father.
Of course.
Back in England. I'll be taking a ship and Monday myself. Yes, I'll be getting ready and myself and getting my trunks and stuff packed for the trip. But please avail yourself to the house. I know some of you come in from around town. If there's anything that you all need to chase down here in Boston while you're here, that the house is at your service. One of my drivers could take you anywhere you need to go. Feel free. And she's like, but yeah, I've got to go actually make a call with my father now.
Lovely.
Thanks for the hospitality.
He watched her go. She had legs all the way up to her neck. He liked it.
She had no torso. She had been deformed as a child.
She was a physical anomaly.
Oh my God.
She was missing one arm, but she moved with grace.
All right. Well,
Oh God.
since we're here in the big city, I think I'd like to take a few moments later on this afternoon to stop by and say hello to some of my superiors.
I'm sure they'd love to talk to you.
But before I do that, that'd be frivolous if I didn't think that we had everything else arranged. So what are y'all bringing? What are we all thinking? How many days? Thinking we're going to be out there? A week?
Best to plan for 5 days, maybe 7.
Well, she's paying us 10. She's paying us 10 plus 5. I'm thinking maybe 2 weeks.
You got a soup kitchen to run, you know.
Let's just move in.
He was smart for a Mick, and he liked him.
My God.
Wow.
Good God. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Well, it is the 1920s. I mean,
I can be a full-blown racist in the 20s. All right, so we're going to be there. So I should pack at least a dozen black shirts.
Exactly.
And,
the little thing.
And a little
Do
collar.
you still wear the thing?
Oh,
dog
yeah.
collar.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. You've not been tossed out yet.
They're afraid to defrock him.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
He'll whistle blow the whole damn thing.
That may happen.
Question
ready.
for you, Father. Are you working tonight and tomorrow, or do you have time to plan for Monday?
I don't currently have a parish. I'm I'm sort of Ronin free agent, moving about. I go where they need me. If any of the other fathers are sick or
Second string, I got it.
it's not quite like that. But thank you for saying it. Long way from LA. Are you lost?
I took a train, a couple buses, maybe a cab. I got here.
Well,
My God.
when
Trail
the
the
rest-
Dame, it's another story. We'll talk about it another time. Cigarette?
Oh, I don't mind if I do.
Nice.
So anybody, what are we thinking? I'm gonna bring my normal stuff that I was being trained with.
Nunchucks.
Right. No, that's Elizabeth. What else?
Oh yeah, I need to hear the story of the Malaysian fighting sticks. Why your character is talented in Malaysian fighting sticks. I didn't get the story.
Have
Okay.
you seen her?
I work in it. I run my great aunt Millicent's Oddities and
Dojo.
Antiques boutique.
Dojo.
Okay.
Not a dojo. It's an antiques and oddities boutique. Okay, all right. And someone went to Malaysia and brought back as a souvenir a pair of rather fine Malaysian fighting sticks, and they were sitting there and no one was buying them because they just thought, "Oh, look, a stick. This has no value," but it had value to me. And I picked
Quick
them up
question.
and I
Is
what?
sticks a euphemism?
No.
No, fighting sticks.
Oh, okay.
Sticks to hit people.
Just looking for
So-
clarification.
Like bow
I-
sticks, yeah.
Yes. So I acquired them, and I started hitting things with them, and here we are today.
And she likes it.
Great thrill. It's lovely.
Oh,
She
very-
hits things and she likes it. Dude got
Nice.
excited. He pulled out his flask and started to drink.
In the Merriweather already. In the Merriweather home, does she have her own library of occultisms and other books of
yeah,
right.
the fairly academic ones. She doesn't have like the Necronomicon tucked in the corner or anything, but some of your more
What a
academic
shame.
ones,
Okay.
there are there available as well. And it's early Saturday, like the library is still open.
Mhm.
Sarah's the librarian. She might have a contact or two there. I don't think you're from Boston, right, Sarah?
No, I am. I work for the
you're-
Boston
Oh,
Public
so you
Library.
work in the library, so you're like,
I work for the main branch. I work in the special collections department, which is archives. So I was thinking I might take a trip over and see if I can find any newspaper clippings of see if there's anything even remotely occult or any crimes that might have happened in that area with, maybe something violent that might cause a place to be haunted. Especially something dealing with a man by that house. So if anybody wants to join me,
Nothing would bring me greater joy than joining you on this grand adventure. I
love
love
it.
books. I like to smell them.
great. Please don't smell them too closely. I
What?
have a reputation to uphold in this place. I like this
You
job.
don't smell them.
No.
What? Why? One day they should make candles that smell like books. Brilliant
know what?
idea.
You
I'm
know
gonna
what,
write this down.
Elizabeth?
What?
You do that. Write that down in your little notebook. Anyway, I beg of you,
It's
just
not
please.
little. It's rather thick.
Quick question. Couldn't we find all the information on who lived there prior to the family at the county seat, at the library there?
That would
Capital
be
idea, Mr. Gumshoe.
That would be in Franklin County, yeah, in county seat, yeah.
What would be the chances of splitting the party here and going out there and doing
I
some
love
I'm
splitting the party.
I know. I said that just to
I
see what
love
you
it.
would say.
Splitting the party already.
We're
Duke didn't
gonna
like it. It was a bad
die.
plan. He said no immediately.
We take the car and we go out to Franklin on our own and start doing other research.
Lauren steps out on the street, gets hit by a truck.
What?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've said that when they adventure you before. What?
The other thing we should look at, with the type of things that they're already seeing, things moving about, things shifting. The young girl being affected first. We should look at things that affect children or paranormal events that focus on the young. I may come with you if Duke is just going to go into his cups. I may end up taking a walk with you down to the library and doing some additional looking. If you
I
wouldn't
might
mind.
also, I might consider paying a quick visit to my parents as well, because maybe they've dealt with something like this similar
That's a good plan.
in the past.
Are your parents Catholic?
Yes.
Well, that's right. Good. You don't behave like it, but that's all right. We'll do it. We'll go. I'll go with you. Impress them with who you know.
I go to services on Easter and Christmas.
Oh, for the love of God! All right. All right.
Nice.
I try to go, but they don't let me.
So do I. I go on those 2 days as well, and the other 50 fucking. Never mind.
Duke found God in a diner once, but he left in the dark and he couldn't find him again. He's
It was
still
shaped
looking,
like
but he's
meatloaf.
left that hope.
God had a cherry Danish. He didn't leave me any.
All right. So where do we want to go first?
Nice.
Library, because it'll close before.
Yes.
Yeah,
before
library
it
closed
starts.
before the parents do. Yeah.
Well, Sarah also has a key and she's
That's
been
true,
working
too.
there for some
Oh.
time.
So we get all right.
It's where I live, yeah.
After hours library searching. This is great.
Elizabeth
let's-
Barnes, if
let's
you
go
get
to
me
parents
fired
first.
from this job, I
So-
swear to God.
Bucket list.
Wild Saturday night at the library. Nice.
Listen,
Young ladies in the library just whooping it up.
don't be
So-
smirched.
Slutting it up in the
Lib-
library. Let's go.
Do
All
not
right. So
be smirched.
let's do the parents
Elizabeth.
first then.
Amazing.
Elizabeth's painting the cat eyes on her.
Yeah, we'll go
Gotta
see.
get
So
my
we did-
red lipstick on.
So
When I smell the books, it'll get on it. No,
there you
no
go.
lipstick.
That's not a good idea.
What part
So-
of rare archives do you not understand?
I said I wasn't going to wear the lipstick. Calm down.
Sarah doesn't want your shadow to fall on these books, much less touch her.
If I get
The lips were
Fine.
full. He knew they'd look good in lipstick. He wanted it. He wanted it bad, maybe more than he wanted anything else. But he held it to himself and he didn't say anything. Did I just say that?
go to your
Right.
cups.
Duke, you don't want to go there. You don't want this.
all of this.
It's
So where do your parents live, Sarah?
They live right here in Boston.
Oh, fine. Then just make our way there if it's be all right.
So Jeeves takes you in like
Oh.
a very, very so you don't have to worry about driving. Jeeves is like her Jeeves. Takes you all in like a nice Studebaker. Gets you all there to her parents' house, and he's kind of driving through this section of town like, very well. I'll be down at the corner. I'll wait for you.
Does Jeeves have some shit to say?
Interesting neighborhood.
I'm gonna beat Jeeves up. No, not good.
Jeeves is Jeeves looks like Stephen Fry, basically from Jeeves and Wooster,
Fantastic.
the Jeeves and
Fantastic.
Wooster show. Very tall, very broad, very smooth, kind of a guy.
Perfect use of Brill cream.
Exactly. Yeah, very, very sculpted kind of hair, kind of stuff like that. Has like the black suit. He's got his driving suit on, so it's like a black suit with like the high hard boots and all that stuff. So yeah, like the cavalry boots. But yeah, he lets you all off there. He says, I'll be waiting there at the corner just in case I need to get out of here quickly. But you
Yeah,
can.
great.
But
Great.
yeah. So yeah, you arrive at your at your parents' home. Describe your parents' home, since I've kind of set the mood for the neighborhood.
Yeah, I was about to say. My parents live. They've been paranormal investigators since they got married when they were in their 20s. They are now in their late 50s, I would say, like late 50s, early 60s. Sarah herself is 24, and she's the youngest. She has 2 older brothers. The home is just, it's simple. It's nicely decorated. But when you go in, there's sort of like oddities sprinkled around, like some very gothic looking paintings, some sculptures that look a little creepy. It looks very sort of gothic Victorian is what I would describe the inside of the home.
Got it.
But none of because they are paranormal investigators, nothing that they've collected from haunted locations over the years are out in the public. Like, they're locked away somewhere else in the house.
Got it. So not like hoarder, but cluttered.
Yeah, like
with knickknacks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the opposite of minimalism. It's maximalism. Like, there's stuff hung up, there's stuff on the tables,
stacks of books and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that sets the mood, definitely.
Mhm.
It is April, so there's probably a decent little fire going in the fireplace. Just to get that damp, chill air out. So do you just walk on in? You knock on the door? I imagine you just walk on in. I mean, it's your mom and dad's house.
I do like a customary like quick knock, and then I open the door and I'm like,
we've got company, put your clothes on.
Yeah. I just open the door. I'm like, mother, father, it's me. I have guests, and I just sort of enter the home.
Do you always enter rooms this way?
No, just the ones that just my parents' house.
Oh.
Yes.
I grew up here. This is my home too.
Oh.
Nice.
All right.
So mother and father are in like the sitting room, which is just off the main entranceway that you guys are at. Just you want to describe them for me? These are your mothers and father.
Yeah, so they're like I said, they're late 50s, early 60s. They both look like very nice, pleasant people. Like, they both look very put together. They dress they dress nicer, but you could tell that their clothes are just a little out of date. Like, they don't
10 years past time.
Yeah, like, they look put together. They are put together, but it's not like the latest fashions.
Got it.
My both of my parents wear glasses. My father has a beard. He's got his salt and pepper hair. My mother wears her hair in a very nice updo.
Mhm.
Sarah goes over. She kisses both of her parents on the cheeks, and then she'll introduce. Is it just Elizabeth and Father McFinley with me? Duke is somewhere getting blitzed. Am I correct? Or
Did Duke come? I forget.
Duke doesn't drink that early in the morning. Well, maybe a little, possibly all the time, but he came with you and he's not drunk.
Wonderful.
Nice.
The group's together.
Nice.
Lovely. Then I go around and I say, Mother, Father, these are my teammates with the Merriweather Society. This is Miss Elizabeth Barnes. This is
Hello.
Father. There we go. This is Father Ian McFinley, and this is Mr. Duke Driscoll.
Wonderful to meet you.
Yes, lovely to meet you. Yes. So are these are part of that group that you're with now? Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Oh, lovely. So I take it you're on a case then.
Yes. We're actually heading to oh my gosh, is it North Ashfield?
North Ashfield, Greenfield County. Yeah.
Yes, we're heading to
Franklin
North
County,
Ashfield
sorry.
tomorrow. Monday
North-
morning.
Monday morning.
Mhm.
So out in the country then. Oh, this is interesting. Can you tell us what's going on?
Yes. So, Father, would you like to?
No, just trying to figure out how to not have you spill everything without making sure it's okay. Was I being obvious? I didn't mean to be. I'm sorry.
Father,
I can't remember if the letter did stress discretion.
Did it?
So maybe not name their names.
Oh,
I think
it did. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, at
Yeah.
the last line, she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, please be discreet."
Oh, yes, I'm reading that now. Well, I won't say names or anything like that, but I will say there's a problem going with a family that lives in the area. It seems there's some sort of poltergeist plaguing this home. It's focusing more on the children. I just say it's your typical, knocks in the night, banging on the walls and floors, things going missing, spoons being bent.
Crime.
There's a young girl who was
8 crimes against cutlery.
Not the teaspoons.
I say that there was a young girl who was laying in bed for the evening, and her bed was dragged.
Mm.
And then I say there's also been a man's scream heard echoing through the home, and I heard something similar when I was on the phone with the family. At first, it started off as a whisper. I didn't know if there was somebody in the background, but when I was speaking with the woman of the house, it was deafening. I could barely hear her over this yelling, and then the phone just disconnected.
Mm.
Keeper, remind me of what it said before, because I did not write it down.
It screamed at you, "Get ye hence," several times, louder and louder.
Then I repeat this to my parents. It said, it kept yelling, "Get ye hence," over and over before it disconnected.
It's very interesting. Get ye hence. So it's not like someone who would speak like today.
No.
No.
This is definitely someone from the past. Did it have like an accent or?
It didn't sound like there was an accent, like a specific.
Not like, like, oh, this is German, oh, this is, French or anything like that, French accent or anything like that. Oh, okay. And it seems to be like the children were the first to be involved, and then the child's bed.
Yeah, it was the youngest daughter, I believe. But the children were the primary focus.
That is interesting. So this is a very particular sort of poltergeist. I very much not really comfortable with saying that this is a poltergeist. I mean, it definitely has all the classic signs, the screaming and things moving, stuff like that. But it's focused on the children, and it seems to have its will bent on the children. This whatever this is, it definitely wants something, and it needs something from the children to do it, to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Might I sit? Would that be all right with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Please, I'll have some tea.
Mrs. Tyler, a quick question.
Yes.
Is it quite possible that maybe this voice is saying "get ye hence" is actually saying save the children, get them out? Maybe he's trying to scare the kids to get them out and scare them out of the house. Perhaps he's a protective spirit and he's protecting it something else. Just wondering.
Possible. That is possible. But it seemed like what it was saying was said at you. Was that right, Sarah?
Yes, it was yelling at me over the phone.
Yeah, and she didn't seem to notice it, right?
No.
Yeah. See, I mean, she would have
direct communication.
Yeah, she would not. She sound like it was just aimed at you. She's definitely, whatever this spirit is definitely wanting. And this man's voice definitely sounds like it doesn't want you there. Probably, hopefully you'll be able to uncover what the problem is. But yeah, and basically we're thank you for going to your experts here. So you subvert a lot of occult roles and stuff like that. So they're basically pouring through their books and basically giving you like that kind of a lowdown. She says, seek out their history. Find out what's going on. Something in these people's past is triggering this to happen. You said it just started happening here recently. Like didn't seem like it had happened before, but just now happening.
Yes, it seems only a few weeks ago is what it says. It doesn't say a specific date, and I don't know how long they've lived in the house for.
Got it.
Must be very serious. I've dealt with people who have had hauntings and things happening in their house where they just ignore it for years and the ghost becomes a member of the family. Tappings and what have you. They have conversations with them, so they must certainly be frightened. If only after a couple of weeks of mild inconvenience and spoon bending they decide to reach out.
Mrs. Tyler grabs her tea. She's quite. As a simple repeat. I mean, most of these people in these farming communities, they've been there forever. I don't see somebody just kind of plopping in and going, "Hey, there's weird stuff happening at my house. It seems like there's something tied to an event. Search their history. Something's going on.
Okay.
Something's happening.
Do you have any other advice for me, before we go?
I mean, if it is a spirit, you got to either remove them from the threat or remove the threat from them. You know, how you're going to be able to get that done. You know, it's going to be up to you in the situation.
Okay.
You're fine people, I can tell. Your daughter, she's a fine lass. I'm just wondering.
I just see you the priest and they turned across or upside, right? Yeah.
Right. I know. That's for a secret door. Don't be worrying about that, Father. That just turns the door.
Turn up the volume to God.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you know in the background for Sarah and the fact that we've been on a team for only a few short weeks here together on and off? Do you have any books or things that we might be able to peruse before we make our way into the more special section that she works at in the Boston Library? I'm wondering if maybe you might have a copy of like the Liber Mortis or something else a little heavy.
And their eyes kind of grow big on that, and they're like, no, we don't have anything like that here, but like that particular book, but we do have a few here that we could have you take with you and look at. Absolutely.
Excellent.
I don't want to put you out, but if we could just have a meander through it, maybe I could find some things that might be able to be useful for us later on down the road.
Absolutely. So they give you some books that aren't quite as academic as what was placed, at your discretion at the
Meriwether
Society. Thank you so much. So they seem to be about poltergeists. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Focusing on spirits. Yeah.
All right, sounds great. I don't have anything else to ask unless anybody else has something. I say we go to the library and try to get in there before it closes, and I'll just explain to my supervisor that I need the evening in the archives.
Okay.
Onward.
If I can ask your mother or father one quick question. If the poltergeist being what it is and manifesting with children involved in it, but normally it lashes out at adults, if I'm not mistaken, because the point is that the child itself is channeling like a medium and trying to lash and fight back and do things that it's not happy, right? So it starts doing that. If it's more than that, though, have you ever encountered something a bit stronger, a wee bit more infernal, let's say?
Oh, yes, we've encountered things like that before, and I'm afraid I only have one word of advice for you if you do encounter something of that sort.
Yeah, run.
No.
Run.
Oh.
Run, and then we'll cut scene, and then we'll go.
That's comforting. Thanks,
Run.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, run. But yeah.
Lovely.
So yeah, next scene, I guess, after you probably had like some dinner or something like that, you going to the library, spending night going through some archives. So yeah, basically, they've told you like to seek out family. I mean, there may be some stories that had to involve this family. They go through newspapers, archives, and stuff like that. Some library use rules, that kind of a deal.
Do I get any kind of advantage because this is where I work and I work with this collection very frequently?
Yeah, you would know where to, like which ones to go through, and definitely like which sections to pull. You're looking at like society, look, news, not news in Boston, but in and around the state. So get that at advantage. Absolutely.
Okay.
Bonus die, rather.
While Mel is rolling, I got a 23, which is a hard success.
Excellent.
And I'm going to take a roll as well. Well, best one I've had in a while. That's a 0-2.
Okay. That is
Amazing.
a 13. That
know
is
it all.
also a critical success.
Wow.
Critical success. Excellent.
Mhm.
So was there 2 critical successes or
Yeah,
a
2
hard?
critical and a
2.
hard.
Nice. Excellent. And yeah, I mean, you almost need at least the hard because it's kind of almost needle in a haystack stuff. You're like,
Mhm.
I'm looking for Apcots in Massachusetts,
Mhm.
any kind of story and stuff like that. And you actually do find one Boston Globe article dated June 4th, 1926. So about 3 years ago. Let me just a second to get it together here. Let me see if I can share it.
Duke, we're currently at the library and we have uncovered a article featuring the Apcott family.
Fantastic.
So yeah, this is the article. Yacht sinks in squall. I'll just kind of read out for simplicity's sake. Yacht sinks in squall. All feared lost. I'll get my snappy reporter voice. The 40-foot yacht Golden Lark sank Tuesday in a rain squall, according to the Coast Guard. Owned by Michael Apcott of North Asheville in Franklin County, the Golden Lark was regularly docked in Boston Harbor and was used by the Apcott family as a pleasure craft. While on what was reported to be a short shakedown cruise, the craft encountered an unexpected squall. According to Coast Guard Captain Harold Wilkerson, the crew of the Golden Lark was inexperienced and lacked basic knowledge and skills necessary for prolonged voyages. When encountering rolling seas, it is believed that a hatch was left open, allowing seawater to fill a hold and cause the craft to flounder. It is yet another case of untrained sailors getting in over their heads. Had there been one qualified sailor aboard, the accident never would have happened. Captain Wilkerson emphasized that all craft putting to sea must have qualified crews and basic safety measures and equipment in order to avoid preventable accidents like this one. The Golden Lark went down in the vicinity of 42 degrees by 45 minutes north, 70 degrees by 45 minutes west. Missing was presumed dead are Michael Apcott, age 50, Sean Apcott, age 25, and Patrick Harper, age 3. The bodies of 2 victims were recovered. William Apcott, age 57, and John Harper, age 29. The search for the other bodies is still in progress. The next of kin, who lives in North Ashfield, could not be reached for comment.
Good Lord.
So, very bad tragedy struck the Apcott family about 3 years back.
We'll have to find out who the Harpers are in conjunction with the Apcotts.
Yes.
Maybe other family members just under a different name, or maybe a family friend. That
Got
might be some digging. I wonder though if Michael Apcott was 50, Sean Apcott was 25. How old did Mrs. Apcott sound about? Like if
You
I were
want
to guess?
to guess, maybe 60, something like that.
Okay.
I'm wondering if John Harper is the husband of her daughter, and then the father of the grandchild that she speaks of.
You know what? That might be it.
I mean, I'm just taking a wild stab in the dark. The other thing that concerns me about the article is that they own a yacht, but none of them are actual sailors. None of them actually. The Coast Guard is writing them off as inexperienced. I don't know about you, but I don't tend to purchase something unless I know how to use it or willing to learn. Maybe we don't. It's Saturday night. We don't leave till Monday. This may give us some time to go down and actually speak to this Wilkerson if he's available, or maybe someone else who did some search and rescue looking for them at sea.
Sounds like a plan. It seems all too convenient. Yeah. I agree with that.
The article, Elizabeth waves her hand over the piece of paper. It's a very angry article.
Stop touching the article.
Sarah is just next to her and she's just looking at her like
it's only a 3-year-old newspaper. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not touching it. I'm sensing its energy.
The
person who wrote this.
Away.
What? The person who wrote this was pissed off.
Wonderful, thank you.
Rude, an aggressive man, has bowel problems.
Something wasn't right with the Barnes woman. He wasn't sure what it was, but he backed away.
Now, on that other critical success, you do catch what was must have been a slow Newsweek for the Globe,
Mhm.
and it was covering some local, flavor stories in and about the state. And so, yeah, you do come across one way back, and you're spending like a long time going through these. And it's sort of like one of their Halloween specials, editions and stuff like that, and local folklore and legends, in and about Massachusetts. So you pulled this one. It's actually a fairly recent column in the Boston Globe, but it was dated way back in the Greenfield Gazette and Courier in April 18th, 1856. So this one.
Oh, can we have Elizabeth read this? This is right up her alley.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let me try to blow it up for you as best I can.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna.
Thank you. Again, I know it's a horrible copy, but
Okay. So I'm going to read this out now. The Ghosts of North Ashfield. The North Ashfield home of Sylvanus and Moira Apcott, lovely names, erupted into chaos yesterday as neighbors attending a dinner party watched furniture and small objects suddenly hurl about the house and through windows. Initially believing the children to be responsible, it was only until it was determined that they were asleep in their rooms that it dawned on anyone something more sinister was involved. According to Dennis Cowan, a visitor that evening, things seemed to move of their own accord across tables and later violently hurled themselves into walls and even through windows. He could not account for the happenings, but swore he would never again enter the house. Whether or not this was a hoax has not been determined, but rumor has it that the local Episcopal Church has been contacted by Mr. Apcott and that an investigation is pending. This is the church that didn't help them.
Duke looked directly at the Reverend.
This is again.
He wondered what the Catholic Church would think about Episcopalians being called in. He started to smile a little bit to himself and handed out a cigarette.
It's like
he
asking,
waited with bated breath.
This is genuinely though. It's like, oh my God, I've got a problem with my sink. Let me call my electrician. Just saying.
Now remember, this was dated 1856.
Yes.
April 18th. So this wasn't like recent.
Wait, what day is it
this
today?
is
April 14th
Today is
now.
April 13th.
13th, I'm sorry.
It's April.
Right.
Something about
it's
April.
5 days to that 1856. How? Okay. What year is this? 29. Oh God,
29.
I can't do math. I'm a librarian.
What was the
Sorry.
date of the yacht sinking?
The yacht sinking was June 4th,
June
1926. Three years ago. Almost 3 years ago.
Maybe the ghost hates springtime.
You know what? I think you hit the nail
Springtime.
right on the head, sweet
Hitler.
Elizabeth. Well, what we've gathered is that if this is the same home, this has been happening in this home and it's been plaguing this family, but why would it only start now for
Restart.
restart? You know what I mean?
No,
Why
I'm
would it-
just saying it's
No.
restarting. Yeah.
Oh, why would it restart?
Mhm.
Well, here's something. She could be fibbing. She could be a dirty fibber and just saying that it's a recent thing when in actuality she's been dealing with it for a long time and she's trying to save herself and not because when you tell people that you have ghosts in your house or you
Yes.
are experiencing the weird, people look at you funny. Wouldn't
Don't
you
say.
know? Yeah.
I must say, Miss Barnes, that I'm not entirely disagreeing with your theory there, but I have to tell you that this is one cheap bitch. If this has been dealing with this most of her fucking life, and she's only offering us $10 a day.
That's a lot of money back then. This is 1920s.
Not if I've been dealing with it for all my life.
It's like $100 a day.
Seems to me that it's quite possible that perhaps something had happened in the past that maybe stopped it and they thought it went away. They did something now that brought it back.
Like drown all those people at sea.
Maybe unsealing a room, opening a book, something that has meaning or value within the house.
We'll probably find out more from the archives in the county seat.
Agreed. Duke, you
Yeah.
don't happen to have
Yes.
a fag on you, do you?
I do.
Yeah,
He rolled, hands one over.
I'm
You're right.
sorry. Do the archives of the Boston Public Library mean nothing to you people?
There's ashtrays
Look at-
right here.
Clearly
Perfectly
a
safe.
sign.
I've got a lighter.
Not
Really
back in
fun.
29, I bet.
No.
It probably says smoke Marlboro.
Yeah. Smoke everywhere.
5 out of 6 doctors agree.
I had to rub my
Chesterfields are
lipstick
better
off
for
on
your
my sleeve because this one wouldn't let me in wearing a shade of red. And y'all are allowed to smoke in here?
No, nobody's allowed to smoke. Nobody's allowed to wear
I
lipstick.
object
Why
strongly.
don't?
In all fairness, you frightened me, but I like the lipstick. It looked good.
Well, now it's all over the side of my face. Does it look good now?
Not as much.
Ah, let me get that.
We got a lot to work with. We got a lot to think about and make some moves on in the morning before we head up to get on the train on Monday. But every day is clicking. If we're all concerned by the date, and I think we all rightly are, yeah, that's not good. Are we thinking maybe we should drive out there tomorrow then instead and give ourselves an extra day?
I think so.
If God doesn't need to rest, I don't need to rest. I'll go.
I'll have to cancel
traveling
my
on a
Sunday night
Sunday.
plans.
Traveling on a Sunday.
The question is, how do we go? Because the trains aren't going to run.
No.
That is
That would be the car.
We would have to take the car, travel
Yeah,
the
that's
country
what
road.
you-
5 hours stuck in a car together. What bliss.
And none of us a great driver. Fantastic plan.
Why
Well,
can't we use the guy?
We have Jeeves.
You can have Jeeves drive you. Jeeves will drive you.
Jeeves
He's
will
not happy
drive
about
us.
it. He's not a country boy.
Don't worry, we're giving him 10 bob. He'll do it.
I mean, he's on salary from the Wells.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That-
He'll
Extra
get a,
10
he'll
pounds
get a
can't hurt.
nice tip.
Cookies.
Mm,
Well,
A tip and
quite.
cookies.
right.
all right. So what? I think here our work is. Are we in good shape here? Are we trying for anything else?
Mm.
I mean, we had some really good successes. That helped a lot.
Yeah.
That was
I,
good.
I
Yeah.
think that we found everything that we're going to find. I think that anything else that we want to find that's going to dig deeper into this is going to be at the archives at the county seat.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if we go to the county seat, we want to see if we can find something that we found stuff related to the family, but we need to find out if there's something related to the house that is separate
Yes.
from the family.
Got it.
Also, maybe find out about the Harpers as well, just to see if they are connected to that
Now that's
family.
not
if
going to
they-
happen on a Sunday. So we're going to be out there. So we're going to be dealing with them, and then have to break away probably on Monday to do anything with anything legal at the county seat is going to need a weekday.
And also just to let you all know, because Jeeves is already looking at the map about how to get out there and stuff like that, and like he mentions to you also now, the train hits Greenfield, which is north of North Ashfield.
Okay.
The route that we would have to take, to get to North Ashfield or even to Greenfield, you would hit North Ashfield first before you hit Greenfield. So it's
Okay.
like, the train's coming this way, the road's coming up this way.
Gotcha.
Trains, the train's coming from the north, the road's coming from the south.
Got it.
So you'll if you go by car, you'll hit North Ashfield first. So are you wanting to call Amelia or Allison back and let them know plans have been changed?
Hmm.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't call him. Surprise can be on our side.
Jeeves raises his eyes. He says, "Sir, madam, it's a bit apropos. Not to inform your house, the people you're investigating.
You're right. You're right.
You're
So I'll take
arriving
care of
an 8 day early.
No, you're right. You're a
Well, we
good
don't
man.
have to
And,
stay there.
no, you're a good man, and I appreciate that. I'll make the phone call. I'll take care of it. I'll give him a
That's
ring.
what Jeeves is for, to keep you guys on your
Absolutely.
I
I
like it
moral
when you
skills.
call me Madam Jeeves. It's nice.
Perhaps there's a motel we can stay out nearby. That way we're not offending the family, but not telling them and researching on our own.
right. So the first thing I do is I do not make that phone call at any point.
No.
Duke agrees. He agrees a lot.
I don't need some servant telling me how to run the affairs of the Merriweather Society. So
Wow.
what you need to do is you need to drive the car and let the professionals sit in the back and watch the countryside go by. But before we do that, tonight, is there anything else anybody needs to do before the group sort of gets themselves settled in? We're going back, I guess, to stay at the house, correct?
Yeah, there's rooms for you at the Merriweather house.
That's fabulous. Before I do that, I need to throw a brick through the Archdeacon's window. So if you just give me about 15 minutes.
we can take the corner at a good clip.
Actually,
Right.
if on the way to the Archdeacon's house, where you will throw brick through a window.
Right.
Could I be dropped off at the zoo? If we're going on Sunday, I have to cancel my Sunday night plans, and I have an appointment to keep.
At the zoo.
I
Zoo. Yes, at the zoo.
Sure, why not?
After
Amazing.
hours for the zoo.
Yes,
Going to the zoo wearing that?
my clothes.
This
Yes.
Yeah, so
evening, madam.
if there's anything
Yes.
that I've learned,
I was supposed to go tomorrow. I would be better dressed. But
if
no,
there's
I
anything
have
I've
to go
learned
now.
in working with sweet Miss Elizabeth Barnes these past few months, it's to just let her go and not ask any questions, because the answer is always so much worse than you expect.
Hmm.
Elizabeth,
well.
have a fine time at the zoo.
Very well. About 15 minutes later, we're at the zoo. Drop you. Do we drop you
Amazing.
off?
That's fine.
Yeah, you can get a cab. I mean,
Yes.
don't wait.
Don't wait up. I'll
He's
be
not-
a minute.
He's like looking around. He's, oh, you'll be a minute. Oh, very well. Pulls out his
Jeez.
watch. Clips the opening
Elizabeth
on the pocket
comes.
watch.
Elizabeth exits the car,
You
and
swear you see him click the timer, but
is he waiting?
like the stopwatch. You said a minute. Click.
Oh. I'm not trying to be a wild card and like derail the night. We totally don't have to role play this.
You're fine.
It's
fine.
honestly funnier for people to wonder what the hell I'm doing. So I'm
I
going
can
to the zoo.
She's having tea.
You can roleplay mine. That's fine. It'll only take a moment.
Go ahead.
I have him pull up literally outside of the house. I step out. I grab any piece of debris or fine large brick or
Break off a
rock,
piece of the curb.
anything I can get my hands on. I hurl it with as much strength as I possibly can right through that prick's window, and I make him come to it and see it's me, and I get back in the car and I drive away.
Do you moon him for measure?
No, I'm just like,
well, let's not be vulgar. You know.
right, let's not be, we're not criminals here.
She's something like this.
I know you, prick.
I know what you did.
Wow.
So, do you want me to make a roll for a throw?
No, we'll
Oh,
consider it as written.
Excellent.
You're practiced at this. This is like the third
But
window.
the fifth time.
He's actually got shutters and kind of bounces off the shutters.
It's good
Duke stepped
stuff.
out of the car. He lit a cigarette and pulled out his flask. He brought a smile across his face as he watched him hurl the brick. He thought to himself, I like this Mick. He's going to be a friend. He put out the cigarette under his foot and got back into the car. This was going to be fun.
Nice.
Sarah has
So-
her head between her knees, praying to God that nobody sees that she's with these two rogues, just absolutely terrified of what else is going to happen. This
Wouldn't you
evening.
have rather come to the zoo?
I don't think I want to. I want to be home in bed.
So describe to us once everybody's got back and they got their stuff ready to head out for in the morning. Describe what you look like when you come back to the Meriwether Society. What you look like. What to give some clues to what might have happened to you at the zoo.
Okay. She's carrying a half-empty box full of patisserie.
Patisserie.
Yeah, like fancy French pastry.
Oh, okay.
She is
empty.
missing half empty. She is missing several buttons on the sweater and a shoe.
You're
there
missing
is-
a shoe.
I'm missing a shoe. Her hair's a mess, and is that a bruise on her cheek? No one will know. But she
We'll
comes
make
in.
that- we'll make that.
It's like, is it a bruise? Is it like just the shadow from because it's dark out? Who knows? So she enters the home. My
Madam, shall I call the police? Obviously, there was a matcher.
no. Oh no. Oh, my appearance. Good God. I'm wearing white after Labor Day.
Indeed.
No. Completely fine. Once a month I bring a rhinoceros a thing of patisserie. We have a bond, he and I. Why have you all got quiet?
This is
I just didn't know that rhinos would be into patisserie.
But they are.
I see.
They are. He has diabetes and needs to keep his blood sugar up, he told me.
Or kill it. Most people on diabetes don't need the sugar. That's the problem.
Jeeves looks in the box. I do see he took all the frosted ones. Yes.
You're killing the fecker every time you go out there.
Lord help it.
Duke leaned in to look for a donut. He wondered if there was anything left. Why the rhinoceros got the best pieces.
You're really gonna go in there and reach your hand in there for things that the rhinoceros is touching.
Rhinoceros slobber in the box.
I sell antiques. I'm not a veterinarian. He told me he wanted patisserie.
Told you.
Him some.
Told you.
Yeah.
Like out loud.
Most people that are, dying from glucose
He
poisoning
told me with his soulful eyes.
That's good. Good to know.
I lost the shoe and the buttons running from the zookeepers. They don't like when I go in to talk to Reginald.
James is going up the stairs and driving into the country with Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Lovely.
Lizzie, I'm so glad.
What?
Lizzie,
Nothing.
I'm so glad you had a great time.
I did. He sends his regards and wishes us well.
Thank God. Thank you, Reginald. I needed that.
Good man.
Jeeves like, so we are leaving at 8 a.m.? That's that when he pops his pocket watch open.
All right, that's fine. I guess, yeah. 8 a.m.
I'll make sure to have
Perfection.
some warm blankets in the car for you when you're
Right.
ready.
How kind.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Quite, I thought so. Yeah, he goes on up to his quarters. So yeah, fast forward to the morning. You guys make your way out there. He does have like a thermos full of coffee. Back then they weren't called thermoses; they were called vacuum bottles.
Ooh.
Yes, yeah. So, but he does have like some nice warm, pre-warmed flannel blankets out there for you all. He's like put them over the hood of the car to get warmed up, and then when you guys get in, he drapes them on you all. So you all are fairly warm because the heaters back then, not so much, and the very thin windows, very drafty. These cars are. So you all are bundled up, and so it's more of a damp cold than it is a very rough cold. But yeah, so you guys are underway, and you do take about a good 5 hours. So if you leave at 8 a.m., you're going to get there around 1-ish, you think. You do have to stop a couple times you're going at a blistering 35 miles an hour over some bumpy roads.
Good God, speed racer.
Exactly. Blistering. He's gripping the wheel.
Car tumbles if a goose steps out.
See the white knuckles coming through the gloves. But you have to stop it a couple times, at like some service stations to refill the water, and gas, check the air and all that stuff. This was before radiator fluid, so water went out quick through the radiator. So yeah, after about 5 years, seems like 5
years.
Seems like 5 years in a car with you all for Jeeves. But he's like,
That's completely fair.
come to America, my father said. You'll get a broader learning, my father said. Lovely. So he says, appears we're arriving in North Ashfield. And yeah, it is like about 1:15 that you're pulling in.
Lovely.
It's very quiet, very small town. You do pass like one person like actually riding a horse. Not like cowboy riding a horse, but like maybe somebody, coming from Sunday meeting, still, but still riding a horse. Has like their Sunday going to meeting, suit on. So yeah,
It's not unfounded. I mean, it's the 20s.
exactly.
He probably left early. It's only 1 o'clock.
That's right. Obviously, he's the Episcopalian.
Yeah,
But
obviously. Doesn't take it seriously.
Only Episcopalians
Wow.
knock off at noon.
Wimps.
Nice. So you are arriving in the Fairburg of North Ashfield. Let me give you like a quick little layout of the place here. I don't know how well this will read for you, but we will.
No,
We'll do what we got.
We were not trying to stay at the house today because we're a day early.
Well, you're day early now, so you're trying to see if you can find some lodgings or stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you drive around he takes you around the town. You're not seeing a hotel. There's no inn. There's no hotel. You're looking around. You're like, that's Jeeves is like, well, that's
there's got to be a
just
boarding,
unfortunate.
possibly a boarding house, something like that.
No.
No.
There's a Hobson's Market. There's the Benevolent Cafe, which is this tiny little diner kind of a place. Honestly,
Much better than the Malevolent Cafe.
exactly. There is a service station. There's a schoolhouse. There's the Calvary Episcopal Church. There's a Lutheran church, a Methodist church. Bell's Funeral Home at the Apcott House, the Gordon House, the Apcott houses and stuff. If you can see my arrow, this is the Apcott House. You kind of drive by it as you're taking your tour of the town.
As in public house?
No,
as in residence.
They're residents, the Apcott residents.
Okay.
Yeah, it's surrounded by a very high hedge. Can you see this little
Yes.
empty? Yeah, it's very high, high hedge, and you kind of go through a little pull around. Like the little house is like right here. Not little. It's actually like a 3-story house with like an attic. But we're not pulling in now. He's just kind of driving around town trying to see if he can find a place. And yeah, there's nothing. There's no inn. There's no hotel.
I'm wondering if maybe because I know back in the day sometimes the market would have like a spare room or two. Even like the tiniest towns would have like a spare room or two just in case there was somebody that was traveling through that needed to crash somewhere on like a bad night. So I'm wondering if maybe they might have something there.
The other thing we can do is, I can actually tolerate the smell of Lutherans. So if we go over there and I introduce myself, and that's the closest one, we can actually probably maybe he'll open up the rectory or be able to put us up in other houses. The other thing we just do is go to the Ashfords and say, we heard some noise on the line. We came a day early. We were doing it for you. We try to be, efficient.
We could.
Maybe we could just tell the truth.
The truth? It's possible. It's entirely possible.
Do you want to try the church thing first, see if that works, and then if that doesn't work, we'll go to the Ashfords?
Well, my reason for coming up a day early, and I'm not sure how anyone else felt about this, is to kind of keep an eye on things, to watch around, to at night patrol the grounds a little bit and see if we can't see some things through windows, peering around, like give it a once over. Let Duke Driscoll do the things that he does. I was hoping for that, but if the necessity meets all, then we just go and knock on the front door and say we're here.
Like this entire stretch of road here is about 3/4 of a mile.
Right, it's that small.
Wow.
That's the town.
Wow.
This the main drag is about 3/4 of a mile.
Tiny town.
Tiny town. Population maybe 300, maybe.
Yeah.
So that was my only hope and thinking. Duke, how do you feel about casing the grounds, as it were?
We can definitely case the joint. I've done it before. There's things to be learned, things to be gained. There's, of course, some risk.
Right.
I'm worried about the odd woman, but we'll get past that.
Sarah, I cannot believe he spoke of you that way.
I can't either.
Are you going to take that?
I'm not. Duke, you bastard.
Duke laughed. He understood the ruse. It was hilarious.
So I've heard checking out the Hobson's Market. There's a chance it's probably open on a Sunday. You did go by the Benevolent Cafe. Its lights were on.
And there's no sort of roadhouse or pub or bar or anything?
No. This is God's country out here, sir.
If Elizabeth wanted to go to the cafe with me and maybe we could see if we hear anything or maybe query the locals or the waitresses there. I mean,
Sure.
the waitress at the cafe, it's like a bartender at, the local bar. They hear and see everything.
What's our cover story?
That is a very good question.
So so now we're looking
What
at
is the cover
either
story?
the market, the cafe, the Lutheran house, the Lutheran church. Are we going
Or just tell them the truth. Yeah.
or just drive up to the Asheville and say we're
I am-
here?
I like Father McFinley's plan of casing the joint and like getting the lay of the land. I'm all for that. I don't trust those giant hedgerows. They seem suspicious.
They burn.
What?
They can burn.
Oh,
Well, that's not. That isn't what we're. What you know? It's fine. Continue, Elizabeth.
The same.
fuck the shrubbery. Fuck it. No, I'm up for going to the cafe. I do believe that we should establish some sort of,
rapport with the locals.
Ruse and rapport. Yes, the two R's.
Right.
We could simply say that we were friends visiting the residence. We got here early because our train came in.
With the car.
That is very simple. So much simpler than I would have come up with. Let's go with that.
The simpler, the better.
Well, we could have been spotted driving around town in the car. We're probably one of the few cars they see.
But the
in
train
One of the
could-
few cars. You're probably one of like 10 cars in town.
Yeah, but what about the idea? Like, I mean, the train is likely not running in this town today, so we would have had to go to.
Well,
the
it wouldn't
county
be going
seat or
through
something.
here anyway.
Right,
Being
right.
Greenfield about 6 miles.
So we
All
would have
right,
had to
we could
pick
have
up
had to get the
there.
car in. Yep.
So it's easy enough to say that we drove the car in from the train station.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom.
They have no reason to be suspicious.
No.
Don't be suspicious.
Right.
Don't.
All right. So
All
we're
right.
starting with the cafe. Next stop, the Lutheran place, market, and if we can't find anything in those three, we head over to the Ashfords.
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Sounds
All
good.
right. So you stop at the Benevolent Cafe, and there are maybe 3 patrons in here. One lady working the counter, and a gentleman working like the fryer in the back. Definitely short order cook kind of diner kind of a feel. It's got like a short little bar, probably has like 6 stools. Only one of them has one on it. Young kid, probably about 12, blonde hair, wearing like winter clothes. He's got his galoshes on, coveralls, that kind of a deal.
I smell a Davy.
Kind of, yeah. If you imagine what Davey would look like, this is probably him. The lady working the counter, her name is Laura. She's redheaded, very small, feisty looking kind of a woman. And then there is a couple sitting in a small booth like across from the bar.
From the counter?
The counter, thank you.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
lunch counter. Yeah, it's not a bar; it's a lunch counter,
Okay.
kind of a deal. But yeah, there's only like 3 patrons. The boy and this couple. Couple's probably in their mid-30s. Looks like they're having like a late lunch, very early supper. Dinner. But yeah, that's basically what you see when you walk in, and Laura's like looking at you all when you come in. She's got like her little, sewn into the uniform, Laura. Embroidered. She's wearing like a light blue kind of a uniform with the apron. She says, welcome to the Benevolent Cafe. I'm Laura. Would you like a seat here, or would you prefer a booth?
We'll take a booth.
Oh, very, very well. And you look at the booths. I mean, there's only 4 of you, but you'd have to kind of squish up a little bit in there. The
It's
booths
intimate.
yeah, it's very
I mean,
intimate.
if we'd fit better at the counter, we can go to the counter.
She
but-
says, "Now, Davey, move on, make room for these nice gentlemen and ladies." And he moves down, gives you guys like 4 stools set together.
Wonderful.
He's kind of sitting in the middle, like in the 3rd stool. So he moves down to like the 5th. So yeah,
Thank you, lad.
taking down his little PBJ and milk.
So who is sitting next to Davy?
I imagine the father goes right for that seat, don't you, Father?
For where?
Right next to Davy.
Only if he's in danger.
Are you sitting next to him? Is what they're asking.
I know,
Yeah.
and only if does he look like? No, I'm not going to sit next to him if he's not in danger.
Got
I
it.
would only jump into that. For,
No, he's got like those little like
is he
that.
choking?
He's like elbows into this, like the sandwiches they made on like the little Rascal shows are about 3
Oh,
inches
yeah, yeah,
thick.
yeah.
Oh, Dagwoods. Yeah.
Well, no, but it's a PBJ, so like the bread's like 1.5 inches thick each slice.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Yeah, with like about 60% PB, about 40% J.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah, I'll take the 3rd seat.
Okay, so
Good for him. I'll sit next to Davy.
I'll sit all the way to the other end away from Davy.
nice.
Great.
Dude didn't like Joe, and he found him annoying. He tried to stay away because they just got under his skin.
So
He's
Joel's
just eating.
1, Elizabeth's 2, Father's 3, and Sarah's 4. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then Davy. Nice. So she's like, can I get you all some coffee? And Jeeves like, don't mind me. I'll just sit over there in the corner.
Oh,
Right.
geez,
he,
sweetheart.
No, right, you are.
he goes and takes off his gloves. He's driving gloves. He goes,
Right.
Some tea, madam. She goes, right. And watches him walk over to the corner. He sits like in the far corner booth. He takes like a little booth, like as far away from the door as he possibly can.
Perfect.
And but where he can see you all.
Right.
You know, like he's
Right.
facing the door.
Mhm.
We're on his
Yeah.
check.
That we are. I'll take a
Nice.
coffee.
Excellent.
Are we given menus?
There is like
Points at
a
a
chalked menu. Yeah, there's
Okay.
a chalk menu. There's the blue plate special, which is like a turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, that kind of a deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then like different sandwiches.
Elizabeth looks at the chalkboard for about 15 seconds, not saying a word, then turns to the waitress and goes, "I'll take your most benevolent item."
The most benevolent item, the blue plate special, obviously.
If that truly be the most benevolent, that is what I shall have.
How excellent. She just puts it down on her notepad. Coffee, and what will you have?
Coffee as well, and I'll also take a take a plate of that benevolence.
Got it. Now there is a nice pie under the glass there. You know, it's like looks like like some nice Dutch apple pie.
Oh, can I
Let's
have a
say-
slice of that, please?
Well, a la
Make
mode,
that
of course.
too.
A la
Of
mode.
course.
It's the only French I know. A la mode.
It's the
Yeah,
only-
have
it's
that
the only
double
French you
a la
need.
mode.
Exactly.
2 scoops.
2 scoops. Excellent.
Duke
So, yeah.
asked for the blue plate special and the pie, and also a cup of coffee. He knew good food when he saw it, and he wanted it. And he wanted
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah. So she's like 3 specials, and she goes and gets a knife out
And a rhino
starts cutting
special for the
pie.
young woman.
Yeah, a rhino special, exactly. The diabetes special.
I have the diabetes, the pie and ice cream. Can I get a rhino over here?
I'll have the horn sandwich, please.
Wilford Brimley comes out of the bathroom, pulling up his pants. He goes, "Diabetes."
Quaker Oats. It's just the
Quaker
right thing to do.
That's what you gotta have. Quaker Oats. Got to get that good movement in the morning. Have some Quaker Oats.
That definitely
My
has the
God.
diabetes.
Oh
Bauer
my
Oats.
god.
Nice.
You make one joke about a diabetic rhinoceros and it descends into chaos.
Exactly. I
None
mean,
of us saw this coming.
we didn't have to go to the zoo. We had to make it this whole thing. But here we are.
That's what I'm here for.
Exactly. So Laura's pouring the coffee and stuff like that out for you, and getting the pie stuff cut up, and getting the little scoops of ice cream from like the little freezer down below. Or the counter. She goes, "You all from out of town?" Obviously.
What gave it away?
Are you guys cutting up through to Greenfield, or you got relatives here?
Eventually, we may be heading to Greenfield. That's right. I'm stopping off to speak to. I wrote the name down, but I can't. The pastor in the Lutheran church, Father
Gregory.
Gregory. Here to see Father Gregory is right, and then we're going to be. Well, we have some friends in the area that we promised we'd stop by and make sure that we had a wee chat with them before moving on.
We got in
Oh.
early. We were kind of wondering if maybe there was a place we could stay overnight. We weren't expected until tomorrow.
Oh, well, no, there is an inn in Greenfield, but
You look
here in
kind.
town,
Possibly you have a room, maybe something we could rent. We have money. We're
there-
willing to pay.
unfortunately, no, I don't have any place like that. There's a couple farmers that have some spare rooms here and about, maybe, around. I could possibly make some call. Who are you here to see? I'm sure they wouldn't mind, you guys being here a little early.
Right, we'll take that pie.
Wow, you taking that the
Discretion.
oath of silence, dude. You're
Mhm.
like
Mm.
discretion to the capital D. Nice. So
The
yeah,
coffee's great. I'll have another. And he pushes it back to her.
Exactly.
How quickly did
Pours
you
the
drink
coffee.
that?
Just trying to
And,
push her off to another topic.
And so the little boy like looks up for you. He's like, "Weren't y'all supposed to be at the train station tomorrow?"
There's a
He's
saying
like-
about kids that they should be seen and not heard.
He's
Perhaps you
got
haven't
like
heard of it?
peanut butter like up to here on both sides of his mouth, you know,
Mhm.
where he's like he's been tearing.
What an
into
adorable urchin.
He's just been tearing into this thing.
Here, sweetheart, please keep drinking your milk and don't bother us.
He goes, "I'm supposed to pick you up and take you to the Epcots. Isn't that what it was?"
You can operate heavy machinery?
Well, yeah. I love driving that car. That car is fun. They let me take it all the time.
Do you have to strap a block to your foot to get it to
No,
operate?
no, it's not hard. He says, "I'm big for my age." And he plops down. He's probably 4'8". I mean, he'd have a little hard time
Wow.
seeing
Yeah, you're
over
fucking
the
giant.
wheel.
So he's 3 inches shorter than Sarah.
A great
Yeah.
beast of a man.
He kind of sees through like the steering wheel and then the dash, that little area right.
The
here.
boy was small. kind of wiry, but strong. Duke knew he could take a shot, but he wondered if he could take 2.
He's a little on the scrawny side, but yeah, he looks tough. Yeah, he's tough. Yeah.
All right.
Actually, son, isn't this Monday?
This is today's Sunday.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's on
I
us.
I
That's
just got
not
out of the service with the Epcots over at the church, the Episcopal Church.
Did you know?
Yes.
I had a comment and now it's irrelevant because that was beautiful.
I am vengeance.
Did you
Wow.
really know?
He's a priest, but he moonlights as Batman.
Exactly. I am the knight. Nice.
Oh my lord.
That got really dark really quick.
Didn't it?
We're
Wow.
really good at that.
I got fucking goosebumps. That was awesome. But yeah, the service just stopped there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll be going up today more than likely then.
Oh, okay. You want me to run up ahead and tell them you're coming? And I mean, like, you can almost see the place from where you're at. It's
Right.
like across the house, through somebody's property, and see the other the hedge.
Why would you
No.
trouble why would you trouble yourself? I have semaphore flags in my bag and I will signal the house that we're coming.
Sima what?
Semaphore? Isn't that
She says Sima. He says Sima what?
Wait, I'm trying to did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you.
But he's a little boy in a nowhere town. Sima what?
Magic
not gonna
flags
know
that send
the-
messages.
Oh.
Yes.
I
will
reach in
teach
my-
you.
I reach in my pocket and I take out $1.
A
Which is-
whole dollar?
Right, which is better, right?
It's probably a
just-
coin. A coin.
Yeah, right. Like this old silver dollar, whatever that they had. And I just
Yeah.
kind of, you're a good lad. You just take care of yourself today. We can make our way up on our own.
Woo wee. Yeah, you look at him. He's like, that's like his pay for the week at the market.
That's
He can get so many PB&Js with that.
Exactly.
What can he
Zagnuts are a
Peanut
nickel.
butter
Peanut butter
and
and jelly sandwiches.
wow. I didn't hear that part right. Wow.
Good lord.
I didn't hear the first letter. Like this is a
Zag-
really rough town.
McFinley. Father Ian McFinley, my lord.
Oh, he can get
My
all
God.
kind of PB&Js with that.
Wow.
I'm like, wow.
PB&J. Peanut butter.
I got it. I'm here.
Fuck. Are we?
Gross.
All right.
All right, so we've silenced Davy with money.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Davey takes the sandwich, puts it in his pocket and flips the
Oh,
coin and walks out
That's
the
delightful.
door.
Crumbs.
Save that for
Well,
later.
He wraps it in his napkin
Oh, all right.
and then puts it in his pocket.
In his kerchief, in his handkerchief.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank God for that.
The other half of the sandwich, because it's
Yeah.
it's like it's still the size of a small dinner plate. The other half of the sandwich.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so we were able to eat. We got ourselves Davey's quieted, which is good, but we don't think she's going to be able to do much for us right away. So, do you want me to try Father Gregory? How far is the Lutheran church from here?
Let's go back to it. See what we got. Go back to the map.
Yeah, I don't see the numbers coordinated, so you have to. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I got you. So we will view crank up the view and slide the slider. So the Lutheran Church is F, and which is right here.
Oh, fairly close, right?
Yeah, it's actually, because if you're at the Benevolent Cafe,
That's B.
yeah, but yeah, it's like right across the corner.
Yeah, there it is. So
Amazing.
while everyone's eating, if it's okay, I'll go ahead and
Like I said, you look down the other end of the street, and there's the Ashfield House. Yeah.
I'll just take a quick jaunt across the street and see if I can get Father Gregory if he has any parishioners, or he himself can open the rectory to a traveling, to someone who's here. I'll put on my best behavior and go over and approach him.
Do you want company, or are you going to just...
I mean, you can. It's just I'm just going talking priest to priest.
Oh, then yeah, you do that. I'll sit my ass here and enjoy my
You said
olive
we're
oil.
only about a block away from the house?
Yeah,
if you see it, yeah.
a country block. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll go walk around, do a walk
So
around the block. and
you're at
see.
the market, which is the Benevolent Cafe, which is
Just
here.
B.
Yeah.
And they're over here at this. Yeah, they're over at I or L, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because we're all talking about how close everything is, like would the market be like a general store type situation and have like things?
Yeah. Yeah.
Most
It's
likely,
definitely a general store. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'd like to take a quick stop there.
That's like right here. Yeah.
I'll follow you.
Amazing.
Excellent. So yeah, Hobson's Market is only open for a few hours on Sunday, just in case somebody needs something done. It's open from like 1 to 5 on Sunday. So yeah, you're there and you immediately see Davey. He's like pointing back at where you guys are walking from, and talking to a man behind the counter, wearing like a big set of overalls and like a flannel shirt. Big guy. He's probably 6'2", about 20 stone. Yeah. Easily tip of the scales, 250 pounds.
Right. For context, dear viewers, Elizabeth is 5'5" and about 100 pounds soaking wet.
And listeners, for your information, Sarah is 5 foot even, and she's about maybe 115.
So the two of you together might be
day.
one of him. Yeah.
Yeah, if I go on Elizabeth's shoulders and I start swinging, maybe I can do some damage, but it's not looking good. Once again, like when I was creating the beloved Faye Dawson, I sacrificed my size for in this time my power.
Nice.
So I have another 40 character. But that's okay.
Nice. There you go. Fair enough.
Another small
Amazing.
fry.
Tiny bean. Okay.
Nice.
So we enter the market, or does something impede our entry?
No.
Okay.
That's what you see as soon as you walk in.
Okay. Gigantor doesn't block
No,
the door.
no, nothing like that. Again, you just see, first thing you see is little Davy, pointing back where you guys come from and looking at you guys and going, yeah, that's them. As you see, big old guy behind the counter looking at you guys like,
how typical.
I did not go to the market. I decided
to
go for the walk.
around.
Yeah, I went to walk around the house and sort of case it.
Yeah.
My good sir, how are you on this fine Monday? Whatever day it is a fine and fabulous day to be alive, is it not? I've come here for something very specific, and I hope you can help me.
Ding! Hits a little spittoon over there to the side.
10 out of 10. The arc on that, sublime.
Impressive.
A bit of chaw, what have you. He goes, yeah, I'm Eric Hobson. This is my boy Davey. What can I do for you, fine young ladies?
Mr. Hobson, your son eats a peanut butter sandwich like no other. Fine lad. A fine lad. I'm here for spoons.
Spoons?
Do you sell spoons?
Yeah, we got silverware over there, and there's like this, whole clutter stuff. It's a general store. It's got everything in the size of, like a TCBNY. But
gotcha.
yeah. Just small little storages, absolutely cluttered with everything.
Mhm.
There's canned goods, there's household items, there's probably a couple of shotguns for sale, that kind of stuff. 45 under a glass case,
Interesting.
that kind of a deal. That got father's attention.
Well, there's Episcopalians in town. I have to be ready.
Oh my lord!
Wow. My goodness.
Okay, before we go any further, I am Episcopalian.
That is awesome. Talk about digging a seriously large hole in one shot. Dude he's got a steam shovel in his pocket.
Before we get too much further,
Hmm.
it's just
Catholic
I'm
light.
not currently practicing a diet Catholic. I call it diet Catholic. Absolutely,
Catholic,
it's
yeah.
all the ritual, none of the guilt. So yeah.
So what's the point?
I call it Catholic with the sex.
Exactly.
What's the point?
None of the guilt. None of the guilt.
I'd be out of a job if it wasn't for the guilt. Let's move. That's my work.
Nice.
Wake up and, that's a guilt just setting in on you. You killed God. Good job. Here you go.
All
Oh
of
my
you.
god!
All of
There's so much happening right now.
You leave this chapel clean. What you do afterwards is filth.
So I'm Eric Hobson. This is my market. They're right over there and points over to towards the corner, and there's like a full set of silverware and stuff like that. There is like a nice silverware set that's in like a
Mhm.
like a case, like almost like a briefcase kind of a deal.
Mhm.
Leather little briefcase, and then there's more common what they would have made out of steel, I imagine back then.
Right.
Of set of like spoons, knives, forks, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And they're like in
Um,
little bins that you just pull out what you need.
Mr. Hobson, if I just wanted the spoons, would you sell that to me, or must I buy the set?
Oh no. Out of like the steel ones, they're like in little bins. You just pull out however many
Oh, no, I meant the
spoons
nice
that you
ones.
want. Oh, the silver one. I hate to break up the set. Oh. And you're looking at it's got like a price tag of like $5 on it.
How much money do I have?
on your character sheet, it should tell you.
Oh, okay.
What's your spending amount?
Everyone, I am used to a Pulp Cthulhu sheet, so this is
Yeah.
new to me. Where is that?
It should be on your second sheet.
Oh, I have $48. Spending level 10. Okay, we're going with the cheapo spoons. It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. Okay.
So 5 for a quarter on the spoons. 5 for
Yeah.
for the
In
steel
all
spoons.
fairness, $10 is a decent chunk of change to be spending back in the 20s.
Yeah, it's like dropping $100.
I'm not
Yeah.
spending
Loaf
5 of it
bread's
though
like a nickel.
on spoons.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
you
love
get five
spoons, it's
for a
not that
quarter
much.
of the steel ones.
Yeah. So I'll get like 50 cents worth of spoons. Also, if
spoons.
the man has them, if there's blocks, like ABC blocks for kids,
Oh,
Or if they're there. If not, I'll just say that I brought
Davey, you're
them.
not using yours anymore. Get some for this nice lady. And he goes, he
I
goes
would hate to
runs
deprive.
upstairs and goes running through his toy box, and so you hear the clutter and stuff like that, all that stuff, and he brings down like this little grass sack, like a burlap bag, and he pulls them out. He goes, you're welcome to him, ma'am.
Davey, you're a sweet boy. You're a very kind person. Thank you. This will be very helpful with what I'm here to do in town. So, last thing, I packed in a rush, you see. My friends made me leave town rather quickly.
Are you on the lam?
No.
Do you have small clothes, Davey? You're selling small clothes?
The bell on the door.
She rides sheep.
The bell above the door.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
How much?
Oh, I mean, I've got like some fine cowbells over there, ma'am, if you want some of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll
And
take.
they're like the kettle kind of dink cattle bells.
You got anything nicer, more dainty? Look at these tiny hands.
He's
A
like,
dinner bell?
A dinner
Goes-
bell.
Dinner bell. Oh, that's for like them highfalutin nap cots down there. They have at dinner bell. Yeah.
You know, if you know that they already have a highfalutin bell of dinner, then I don't need a bell of dinner.
You know the Epcots? See, I told you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're over there. They got that spooky house down over there.
Elizabeth has realized that she's just dropped the name
Yeah.
in true Elizabeth fashion.
Yes, but you made the best face when you realized it.
Nice. Yeah, they got that spooky house down over there.
The
in
spooky
Place
house.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
So
Sounds intriguing. I'm gonna take my blocks and a cowbell and
My
what
10
did I come? Spoons, and we'll be on our merry way.
wait, Elizabeth, don't you want to hear about the spooky house?
Actually,
Halfway
Why
out the door. Halfway out the door.
tell me more.
I mean, we were considering stopping
Little
by.
Little Davy's like, oh yeah, that's like the spooky, and they basically kind of give you like every town has like their spooky house, and the Epcot house has that rep.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
It's just it's spooky. Like nobody can put their finger on it, but it's like
Smells
spooky. Yeah, it gives off that vibe,
Anything ever happened there that?
Oh,
maybe
a
found local
long
legend?
time ago, like some dinner party got erupted by stuff moving around in the air, but that was a long time ago. Like my grandpa told me about that. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's just all weird sounds and stuff seem to come from there from time to time. I haven't heard any, but it's just got that notion.
Hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Exactly.
Your
Yeah.
nose twitches.
The kids don't
Davey.
walk through the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask Davey if he's noticed anything specific there, because maybe his dad wouldn't, but if this thing is focusing on kids, maybe Davey seems something
Ooh.
different.
And Davey works for him.
Excellent.
Davy's
Davey
like, I
does.
go deliver off to there quite a bit because that boy that lives in that house, he's a little on the sickly side. And
Oh no.
yeah, and he's everything's always so quiet over there. It's very, very quiet. Like nobody gets to really, it's just quiet. It's very yeah. It's quiet. It's really
Quiet.
strange. I
Now.
don't yeah.
Davy. Quiet like she lowers her voice to a whisper. Quiet like they're trying to be, not disturb the sick boy quiet, or quiet like sound is not there quiet.
Sounds not there. Like everything just stops. It's really weird.
Hmm.
I don't stay there very long. I deliver the stuff and then I come home.
Smart lad. Very, very smart boy. You'll do well in life. You'll be tall, I think.
I hope to be as big as my paw someday.
Oh, you probably will. You already.
I hope for your future wife you're not, but
I mean, goddamn, the kid's already almost my height, so
Exactly. He's 12.
he's
He hasn't even hit his stride yet. Yeah.
Well.
He'll be out there wrecking cervix in no time. It's fine.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go on.
I need to leave. I have to go. Matthew.
Are you awake, Father Finley?
I am now.
So you see Father Gregory at the Lutheran church.
Mhm.
You're talking to him. He looks like a very haggard sort of like Rudyard Kipling.
Okay.
Basically, very short, very squat, has that like white hair and goes down to like the beard,
Mhm.
white beard kind of a deal, very craggy kind of a face.
Mhm.
And he goes, well, how can I help you, Father?
Father, it is a little bit of charity I'd be looking for, and I'm sorry to drop it on you. And this is the holiest day of the week, but came in a little bit earlier than was expected, and my companions and I, there'd be four of us. I'm sorry, 3 plus myself. So anyway, we might be able to find either a parishioner's home we could let a room from for the night, or maybe you yourself would allow us to find some space if you have it in the rectory, just to be able to kip up for an evening and then be able to continue our journey the next day.
And you're just kind of just hitting him on the spot, kind of a
course.
deal, and he's
Are we
like,
in front of his? I mean, his church.
you're
is
in the
let out.
directory. Yeah, let
Yeah,
churches let out. Yeah, because they're not Catholic.
I'd be more than willing to make a donation to the church. Right. I'd be more than willing to make a donation to the church, Father.
And he looks over to the poor box where there's like a few spider webs,
Yeah.
or the poor box kind of a deal.
Yeah. So my character has some means because of what he took from the church when he left. So he carries $28 in cash, spending limit of 10. I gave Davey $1. I'm going to drop 2 or 3 in the. It's worth dropping $2 or $3 right in the pay box.
He goes, I could set up a few cots here in the rectory. Yes, that I could do that.
That's all I need just for the night.
Oh, absolutely. Jeeves is like, oh, I'll be in the car. I'll be in the car. It's fine.
Rightly so. I don't know why he keeps getting in me face. But you and I are going to go at it, young man.
Jeeves like, oh no, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'll sleep in the car.
I mean, it's freaking April. It's not like it's December. I mean, you brought blankets and stuff. You've got warmth. I'm going to be putting your ass up too now.
He's pulling down to the service station to get some extra gas so he can turn the car on.
I swear to God, he and I are going to have a row.
keep his hands warm over the
And by the way, I am purposely avoiding him at this point. Like, I'm not anything we do to save ourselves. I'm always going to leave Jeeves out just because he's annoyed me now. So there is no way I am ever going to actually accept that he's in the room. He could be like, Father, oh my God, I saw something. Not now, boy. So.
It's right under you. No.
I'll put it right under you.
He's going to get the scarlet letters, right? PIA. Right on his chest.
Nice. All right. So you're walking around the estate itself, right?
That's right.
Duke, excellent. So yeah, give me
Duke
just a
takes
second.
a stroll. He walks around. He looks through the hedges. He tries his case to joint.
Got it. So yeah, so you're walking around. Are you walking inside the hedges or just outside the hedges?
I'm going to look outside the hedges because I want to see if there is an easy way. I want to see, 1, what I can see from outside. And then 2, is there an easy way to get inside and perchance be unseen on the grounds? And then if so, then I'll take that second step.
Got it. So make me your spot hiddens as you're walking around.
Okay. Spot hidden's a 23. So it's just a regular. It's close to a hard, but it's just a regular.
Okay, so it's regular, so that's fine. So you're seeing this. Basically, like that hard line around through here. That's the actual like hedgerow. And there's like a little entrance that cuts through here, and there's like a pull around. There is a dry, like a fountain, like a large, like fountain that's in the pull around, but there's no running water to it now. And then there's a small little road that goes to a little garage here. Then there's the house itself again here. The house is very large. Definitely strikes, colonial time.
Okay. Is the grounds around it, or is it open, wide open?
Where the white is, it's open. And then you can see where there's light woods and then fairly thick woods,
Okay. So I can go through the woods, the thick woods, and then the light woods to possibly get better look of everything, get much closer to the house.
Yeah. And then further on back, there is this other house here where it's number 4. It looks like a log cabin kind of a deal.
A Gordon house.
Mm-hmm. And there's like a fire in the chimney there, and a fire in the chimney. Fire in the 2 chimneys of the Epcot house. There's 2 chimneys on either end of the house.
All right, then I will. So I'll move around. I want to look at I want to make my way to the right around the garage. Look in that area, see if there's anything I see that stands out or that's strange. If not, make my way around the back of the house. To get a good look at, and it's the middle of the day now, correct?
Yeah, it's like 2-ish.
Okay, all right. So I need to stay fairly far into the woods, so I'm not seen. So I'll make my way around the house, just to kind of get the case of the house and what the house looks like, where the doors are, if I can hear or see anything or any odd activity or anything like that. That would just something obvious that would stand out. And then once from there, depending on what we find there, then he would go back and try to check out the Gordon house.
Got it. Make me. Well, you've already made like a regular spot hidden roll. Make
Right.
me an education roll, like a knowledge roll.
Okay. Oh, that's a hard success.
Excellent. So yeah, you're looking at this place, and you would, under normal circumstances, call this an estate. You know,
Okay.
it's a big, huge grounds and stuff like that. Has the high hedge, big, giant ass, house in the front, 3 stories plus an attic. The big columns in the front, definitely, colonial style. But it's on the decline. Like the yard isn't quite kept up. The hedges need to be trimmed. The grass is high, even in the open area.
Okay.
Uh, Definitely, shabby chic kind of deal. But definitely,
Right.
definitely
Seen better days. Right. Right. I
it's
gotcha.
yeah, it's definitely seen better days. So yeah, that's the whole mood that you get from the place. The garage again is detached, but like the door
Yeah, it would be the
before it's
fold
open,
up
like the
type.
pull up,
Yeah.
the fold up type. There is like what looks like to be a Model T in there.
Okay.
Like 1926, maybe like a 3-year-old Model T in there. It's in the garage, and then it's the full on mess of tools and stuff like that you would normally see in the place.
Mhm.
Make me a luck roll while you're walking through the woods.
Yes.
Excellent. So you almost hit like a depression, like right here in this area.
Okay. So there's a depression in the ground. Okay.
Yeah, like a big depression. Like the whole area just kind of goes in about 2-3 inches deeper.
So it's to the
than
north
surrounding.
of the house.
Exactly. And like you don't quite stumble, but it's an awkward step, uh, and you kind of stumble around and you look, and then like off in the woods, like almost right here where like the dense woods where it is, you hear, careful, watch your step.
He spins around on a dime. Do I
Okay.
see anybody?
Yeah, over there, like in the trees, like leaned up against a tree, has a book in his hands. Is a young boy, probably about 15, maybe. Thin, blonde hair, glasses, big glasses, dressed really, really warmly. And be careful where you step over there.
The ground seems kind of odd over there. Is it a swampy area? Has it always been like that?
No, I think there used to be a pond or something over there. I don't know.
Must have been long
Seems like it
ago.
must have been. Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, trees and stuff has already grown up in that area now since then. Yeah, the hawthorns have pretty much taken over that area.
Do you live in the house?
Oh yes. I mean, he gets up and dusts himself off. He says, "I'm sorry. I'm Julian Apcott. How do you do, sir?"
Nice to meet you, Julian. My name's Ray.
Hi, Ray. And he snaps his fingers. He goes, "There were some people supposed to come tomorrow. Are you one of them?"
I don't know. It's possible.
Well, I mean, it's empirical evidence shows that you're here. And he pushes his glasses up to you. He says, "You're here. You've never been here before. Evidence would state that you probably are." And
You're
he gets all very.
You're a smart lad. I can see that you like to investigate. I myself do some investigating on the side. Have you done it for long? Have you read books on it? How did you learn to do these things?
Oh, he goes, "I love books. So, I don't get to do much. This is about the only time of day I get to spend any time outside and breathe fresh air." And he has like that rattle in his voice, in his breath when he does speak.
Let me ask you, Julian, what do you know about the house in the back? The old house, the log house.
Oh, that's Miss Gordon's house. She's the local teacher. She rents out the house from us.
Looks much older. Was it the first house on the property?
Yes, it was.
There's rumors around town.
Says you're very sharp-eyed yourself. Yes.
Well, that's true. that's part of what I do. I watch. I look at things. So people around town seem to think that they call this house the old house, the creepy house. They say that things happen. Is that true?
And he goes, well, listen. And yeah, make your listen roll.
Oh, Jesus God. Great. Well, listen. Yes. Yes.
So you make your listen roll.
Regular,
and
it's a regular success,
yeah, even though it's still technically winter, and you wouldn't hear like, frogs and stuff around, stuff like that, but you're not hearing like any birds, and you haven't seen a squirrel
It's
in
like
all
dead,
these trees.
dead quiet.
Dead quiet. You haven't seen a squirrel and barking at you. In a lot of trees, there should be a squirrel, rabbit hopping across, when you do. He says, there's nothing here.
He looks around at the woods, and as he looks around at the woods, not particularly at the boy, he says, to no one in particular, he was a smart boy, a thin boy. He was obviously sick. He'd been stronger. But Duke wondered, would the child survive? And what else did he know? Clearly, the child was strong-willed as he stood here, and there was no sound. A lesser child would run, but he didn't.
So you did that. You did your little monologue while you're talking.
Absolutely.
Around,
all the monologues are all come out of his mouth.
Going around, and he turned right back around to face him.
But yeah. And then he just sort of
turned back around to face him, and he's gone.
Duke shit his pants.
Right there on the ground. That's uncomfortable.
Why did we all split up? We all need to be here.
Because we're stupid, and we do this in Cthulhu and Cairo, and we've done it in every other goddamn game that we've ever done, and we never learn our lesson.
Where's Julian?
Julian's a ghost, probably.
Or he heard the child would hopefully survive. I don't know. And the fucking kid took a run.
Duke, you scared Julian.
Well, I'm thinking because I don't think he ran, because if
no,
he ran, it's so quiet you would hear him running.
Yeah. Well, no, you're looking, and you turn around like you guys were. If I pulled up the
Maybe
map
like 50 feet apart, something like that.
Yeah, the house isn't that far away, and you do hear like the back door close as you turn around.
Oh, so he might have booked it. He might have booked it.
I take back what I said about the ghost.
Yeah, you're like 30 yards from the back of the house,
All right, I make my way back through the woods, towards the Gordon house to get a look at the Gordon house.
Okay, so you get the Gordon house, and there is there's no car. There is a bicycle, and kind of like leaned up against the house, and there is a fire. You assume going on in the chimney or smoke coming from the chimney. Smell cookies.
Not a chance in hell, buddy.
Cookies. You definitely smell cookies.
I know my German mythos. We're not going in that house. This looks way too much like the Black Forest. That's not happening.
I swear to God, it's me like chocolate chip. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. She looks really kind, and the cookies look delicious.
Just see if they're on the windowsill and grab a few for the rest of us. You selfish
Could you
man.
imagine?
Duke
took a cookie. He knew it'd be tasty. The bitch turned around and she stabbed him in the arm. He knew things were bad. Duke was a fool.
I can't quite reach that tray in the back of the stove.
Could you just?
I would like to draw our listeners' attention very briefly to my notes. North of house, depression, cabin in woods, smells like cookies, sound is fucked up.
Sound is fucked up. Nice.
Sound is fucked up, but it smells great.
So,
okay.
What do you guys do? You gather back at the
I'll hook the back around to that road, and then I'll find my way back to sort of the cafe to the main street.
Yeah, so a couple of things are happening here. One, like Father Ian's got you your place, but then
everybody knows.
Two, they know you're here.
Yep.
So what's the plan?
Do we just want to go to the house and just say knock knock? Because Julian's probably already told his assume is his mother or his grandmother that we're arrived.
Right. Let me walk back to the church across the way and see if he left that money in the pay box. I can get it back. Tell him we won't be staying.
You're a priest.
The rectory door is open, of course, because it would be, but like there's no one in the rectory right now. I mean, you could break into the poor box and take it.
Or why was that to break? I mean, all right. I see you're thinking it's a bad idea. Or maybe we hold up on that. Well, first of all, let's be honest. We have backup accommodations. He's setting up some cots. He was a fine, warm gentleman. If we need to not stay in the house because it's truly as fucked up as it sounds, We come
Ah,
here. I mean, leave them be, right? I mean, we don't have to stay in the residence with them, suffering all night. Is what I'm saying. So
Fair.
if we need a break, a respite, some succor, we head this way. We have a backup. I already paid $3 for it, and I don't really want to let that go.
makes sense.
So maybe we should introduce ourselves since Duke already did.
So yeah, so on and around 3
Let's do
o'clock 3 o'clock p.m. You go in, knock on the Epcot's house door, and so who's the greeter? Who's going to be at the top of the steps? It's like a little 3-step stoop, and then boom, you're on like the little landing. We're at the front door.
The
I'm
least
the one
offensive of
that-
us is Sarah. Yeah.
I was also going to say I'm the one
Yeah.
who spoke with her on the phone and set up arrangements, so
Right.
Got it.
we might as well do that.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
And God forbid Duke goes into an inner monologue out on the porch.
I'm going to put Duke in the back with all due respect.
Duke is
I have a
psychotic.
present. Can I go second?
I come bearing
present.
spoons.
She's going to close the door in our face and when she's like, what the fuck are these yahoos going to do?
I'm a Yahoo. Who cares?
You're right. All right, you can go whatever.
Oh, Davey's back here on the street. Told you.
So I
You'll get yours, son.
thought you protected the children, Father McKinley.
I don't like
God's-
children that rub their mouths and go around telling people their fucking business. That's a beating from God. That's different than abuse. I want you to
You're
understand
right.
that it's a little different.
Wow.
You're right.
McKinley.
Forgive me. I'm just an Easter and Christmas church goer. I will I'll go up the stairs and I will knock on the door, ring the doorbell, whatever's available to me.
Yeah. There is like the door ringer in the middle of the door. Did you turn a knob and it hits like a ringer kind of a
Yeah.
deal? Yeah. Shing, shing, shing. Almost like the bike ones, you know.
Lovely.
So yeah, you turn that and you hear like the ringing and it's almost a full minute and and the door opens, no locks. You didn't hear any unlocks being unlocked, anything like that. Like the door
Oh,
opens.
trusting family.
Exactly. We're in the country, Nobody
Well, I
locks those
mean-
doors.
Who wants to break into the creepy house?
That is
Exactly,
so
the spooky-
true.
spooky
All right.
house, right. And lady, you think she's late 20s, early 30s, opens the door. Give me a spot hidden as
Everyone
the
or
ladies,
just Mel?
the ladies,
Okay.
because you're checking each other out.
In like an
Okay.
erotic way?
No, and like in a
Elizabeth?
completely
What?
sexist women like looking at how each other are presentable.
Okay. I have to
That's a 6. That's a critical.
Jeez,
Okay.
nice.
That's a 50. That's a regular.
Nice. Okay, so I mean, she looks, about her 30s, but it's like 30s for the regulars, like her 30s going on like 60. Like it's a
Ooh.
rough 30.
Ooh.
There's some lines. There's some line
Mm.
stuff, some word line stuff going on.
I have a cream
Elizabeth-
for that.
Exactly. Elizabeth. Well, the rhinoceros ate it of his own donuts, but.
It was on the patisserie.
But so with the critical Elizabeth, you're looking at her and it's like it's worse than that. Like she doesn't have any makeup on. Like her clothes, looks like they just got, were just put on, nothing really done to make herself presentable. She's very plain looking. The hair isn't quite right. Like it's not coiffed, like it should be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Her coiffure is not in order.
Exactly. She's a little disheveled is the word I'm looking for.
Bedraggled.
Yeah,
you will.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And she goes, hello? Oh, you're early. She looks at the little
Yes,
watch. Yes.
I extend my hand. I go, I'm Sarah Tyler with the Merriweather Society. These are my colleagues. I apologize for coming early. We wanted to come as soon as possible.
Okay. And in that very well, and and she says very well, and in that could have called kind of voice. Opens up the
I
door.
did.
Opens up the door. Jeeves like, right, I'll just be back here then with the bags.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Come in with us.
Don't do that.
He's carrying all y'all's bags. Ready.
It's a lot of bags. Elizabeth will
A lot
help
of
with
bags.
her own stuff.
No. It's quite all right. It's quite
She
all right.
brought like 8 bags.
Well, do they have
Two trips.
someone to?
Two
Do they have
trips.
someone to?
No.
No,
All
they
right.
have nobody. Huh?
No. And she
Interesting.
brings you all into the house. And
Amazing.
she now it's like in hardwood floors, like solid wood, oak paneling, it's like, very old and very austere kind of a
Mhm.
deal. There's some nice little paintings here and there, kind of stuff like that. Very, again, kind of like what Duke would have told you guys, when just look at the grounds. It looks high end, but a high end about 10 years ago. There's
Mhm.
no new appliances. The radio, there's a radio there, but it's like about 10 years old. That kind of a deal.
Did we catch her name?
Oh, she's Amelia. She's yes. I'm sorry, I'm Amelia.
That is Amelia.
Yes. She
Okay.
introduces herself as Amelia.
She is the one that I spoke
But-
to on the phone. She's
The first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the first one you spoke to on the phone.
Isn't Amelia the grandma?
Allison is the grandma. Allison is the one who wrote the letter.
Oh,
Allison is the one who wrote the letter.
Okay.
Wait a minute. No, did I get it wrong? I'm sorry. I got it backwards. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
so this is Allison that we've just spoken with.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Allison, and she looks like a very haggard 30.
Very haggard 30. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so yeah, she brings you in here through the hall, and she's like brings you into like the banquet room, which has been turned into like a little like warming up, greeting room, almost like a parlor, kind of a deal. A few little chairs, stuff like that. There's a nice fireplace right here.
Mhm.
Very very warm, very inviting kind of a room. Again, dark oak paneling, hardwood floors, few rugs here and there, stuff like that. Here in the hallway, probably right about here is where the table was that has the telephone. You see the little telephone on the stand there in the hallway, kind of a deal when you walk in. But she sets you all on some, few couches and stuff like that. And there's a very, very comfortable, like rocking chair that sits over by the fireplace. And like Duke, you go to sit in that. And she goes, I'm sorry, that's Amelia's chair. She said,
She's like, please.
please, that's Amelia's chair.
I would just like to apologize to Allison again for showing up early, but I wanted to kind of stress to her that we did it because we heard something on the phone and we wanted to come as soon as possible to begin the investigation to keep the family safe.
Oh, that's quite all right. I mean, we already had the roast defrosting for tomorrow. We'll be glad to serve it tonight. She's looking like it'll be a little late, but yeah.
Oh no, Allison. I'll explain to her. I'm like, we've already had lunch. Please don't trouble
I'm
yourselves.
talking for dinner. Yeah, for dinner.
Oh, no,
of course.
No,
No.
That's
It's
good.
fine. It's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's good.
Absolutely. And she goes, let me go get Amelia. And she says, please have a seat. And so you're having little seats and stuff like that. It's some couches and stuff like that. And they're like in a little U shape, and like at one end of the U over here in the corner, like kind of over here in front of the closet is again like the rocking chair. So you're all kind of seeing that. You're like, don't nobody get in that damn rocking chair, obviously, kind of deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so yeah, you're sitting there for just a few seconds, and then you're hearing like a little bouncy, kind of scuffy kind of a step coming down the hall, and just peering around the corner about 3 feet, maybe a little more up, tall, is like a little little girl's face, like kind of just peeking around the corner at you. She's got dark hair, pigtails, kind of just cute as a button.
I will wave at her.
And she
Hello, you adorable little goblin.
Goblin?
It's a term of endearment.
Is it?
She waves at you all. She goes, "Hi, I'm Maddie."
Hi, Maddie. I'm Elizabeth. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's good to meet you there, young lady.
Hi, Maddie. I'm Sarah. How do you
Hi.
do?
Hi, Sarah. And she comes in and she does like the little curtsy kind of a deal, in the middle room. And she's obviously loving me. You reading it for me, she's loving being like the center of attention in the room. Like everybody's eyes are on her and talking to her. And
Love that.
she is loving this minute. And she's got like this little like very old like a sackcloth doll, like a burlap bag kind of doll.
Oh no.
And a little kind of like raggedy, what they would have called like a Raggedy Ann doll, but without the yarn and all that stuff. Just kind of stuff. She has that, and she's like, she talks to you all, and she's she's like, you were supposed to come tomorrow.
I know. We wanted to come and be as helpful as possible, but we forgot our manners, and we forgot to call in advance. We're so
just wanted
naughty.
to come and I know. We just wanted to come and keep you and your family safe.
Okay. And she looks at you, go, and she climbs up on the couch, kind of like between the ladies, because she's like comfortable with the ladies, talking with the ladies, and she's got like the little dolly in her hands and just playing with the arms and stuff like that.
I'll ask. And who is this, Maddie? Who do you have with you?
And she looks up at you and she says, her name is Sarah too. Isn't that funny?
Oh, that's so special. And I look over at Elizabeth with wide eyes and I go, isn't that special, Elizabeth?
I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. It's such a common name in New England. It's like a man being named John. This is a darling doll you have here.
It doesn't
Exactly.
it doesn't have like the same, like you said, it has no hair, right? It doesn't look like me.
There's no features on the face. Make me a spot hidden roll on it, actually.
Both or just Mel?
Both of you.
It's a Victorian voodoo doll.
Yay!
I got a 30, which is a hard success.
Excellent.
I just chucked my die, so I'm gonna roll another one. 18. That's a regular success.
Excellent. So yeah, you're both looking at it. I mean, this doll is old.
Like, would you say like
it's hundreds of years old.
oh,
Like you're not sure how this is still in one piece.
because it's haunted.
I mean, it is worn.
Hey!
It's definitely worn and on the dirty side, but it's like, how is this still together?
I think I've cracked the case, everyone.
Hey, keeper.
Yeah.
I'm an antiques dealer. Maddie,
Yes.
would it be all right if I held Sarah?
Oh yes, she's been asking for you to hold her for a while now.
Really?
Yeah. And she holds her out to you.
Father McKinley, do you have something stuck in your throat?
Yeah, do you have something to add?
To add? No, I'm just trying to figure out
Run.
exactly what the wording of your
Run.
eulogy is. I'm trying to figure out how you want me to present you to the faithful when they gather to say their last respects. Got a second doll there that the child has been found in the attic playing
So
in
you-
Satan's pond.
And it's named after me.
You take the doll from little Maddie here, and I need you to make a sanity check right now.
Amazing! Come on.
I want to
Everyone.
sit this far away from Elizabeth.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's go. Nothing shakes this woman. Amazing. 33. That's
33.
beyond.
Nice.
I'm fine.
So you don't lose any sanity, but I need you to make me back that up with like a luck roll because, and I'll explain why as soon
Okay.
as we see what the luck roll is.
I'm playing true to character, man.
If this
Exactly.
doll-
It's
if
perfect.
this doll-
Elizabeth would grab it right away.
Keeper,
Yeah.
if this doll
16.
fucking comes to life, I'm
16.
shitting myself.
So-
Which is under my luck, like well
You
under.
don't drop it, but you like jump up out of the seat almost, but you don't
Oh.
drop it. It's
What's-
wet. I mean, it's wet, cold, wet.
Why is it wet?
It's like a. I mean, but it didn't look it when you
No,
why
when
is
she
that?
handed it to you. But it's now it's like as wet as a dish rag.
So
It's and yeah, it's cold, it's wet, and it's just whoa, it's wrong.
like when a toddler hands you a wet Cheeto, or is
No,
this-
I mean it's like a wet, like if she squeezed it, water would come out. And it did not look like that when you were sitting there talking to it
If
earlier.
I, can I do a gentle little
Squeeze.
Does water come out?
Yeah, water comes out. She goes, "Oh, that happens from time to time," and we're going to stop right there.
Nice.
we're gonna stop right
Perfect.
there, right here at about a 2.5.
That's a wet doll. Wonderful.
The wet doll, like
Wow.
completely creepy,
We leave you with the wet doll.
cold wet doll. And thank you guys so much for playing with me in this
Wow,
first
man.
part of Coming Full Circle.
You, sir, are a fucker. Just want to say that.
Why is it wet?
Let me end the broadcast.
Before you start cussing me out.
Thank